and your children are turned into mindless vassals who now they look up to some twit instead of looking up to Thomas Jefferson or looking up to Nikola Tesla or looking up to Magellan. I mean, kids, Magellan's a lot cooler than Justin Bieber. He circumnavigated with one ship the entire planet. He was killed by wild natives before they got back to Portugal. And when they got back, there was only...
But why?
22 million in 3 fucking hours!
There is no nobility in poverty. I have been a rich man and I have been a poor man, and I choose rich every fucking time. The real question is this: was all this legal? Absolutely fucking not.
Neither go towards the feeding grounds at the edge of the ice, nor return to the colony. Shortly afterwards, we saw him heading straight towards the mountains, some 70 kilometers away. Dr. Ainley explained that even if he caught him and brought him back to the colony, he would immediately head right back for the mountains. But why?
What's your dream? To go away.
To go away. That's right.
Do you guys want to drink? I don't understand why everybody has to be so judgmental. I understand why mom's judgmental. I think it's because she cares partially. I think it's also partially because everyone else is looking at her like, hey, Cody's just a bum. Cody's this, Cody's that, Cody's this. Cody's me, bro. Let me be me.
Boys, GM. Waiting on Chill, but he's about to join up hopefully any minute now. We got Luxo coming on today. I think I just saw they partner with Bentley or something. Mansory, bro, let's go. So that's a pretty crazy partnership, but I got a lot to learn about this. Chill was a big fan of Luxo, so he'll definitely take the lead on questions today, but really exciting stuff so far. We got about 1 minute getting straight into it today. We had some calls running late, so not much of a pre-show. We're just going to run straight into Luxo, which will be exciting stuff. But going to give it a minute, and we'll get kicked off here. I'm not sure if Chill is going to be able to join here in the next couple minutes. If not, we can always just jump right into it because I do have Jonathan and Jordy waiting for me. So maybe I'll just pull my guys up and we'll kick it off. Boys, are we ready? Gentlemen, we ready?
We're ready.
Let's go.
Great to meet you.
Jonathan, Jordy, great to meet you guys, man. Gave a look through the Twitter profile. Chill was very vocal about Luxo. He's excited about what you guys are building. So hopefully he joins here any minute and, he can join this conversation as well. But I was just going through your feed. Some cool stuff, man. Some great partnerships you guys are working on.
Yeah, it's an exciting time in Luxo right now. Didn't know about your channel before, but had a chance to really look through it and watch some of the interviews. I'm really excited for this, and so is Jordy.
I appreciate that.
Very thoughtful questions, and I found some of the conversations you had with founders quite interesting. So you guys are doing some good work.
Amazing. Well, we got you guys up here, so two great ones to hopefully follow up the other shows. But I'm not going to waste your time. Let's get right into it. The people want to know, who are you guys? Who am I talking to on the other side here? And why are you guys qualified to run Luxo and create this company? So maybe I'll just pass it from right to left here. I guess I'll give Jordy the mic first, and then Jonathan, you can take it.
Sounds good.
Hey, I'm Jordy from the Netherlands. That's why my alias is Jordy Dutch. I have my own staking pool in Ethereum and Luxo. It's called Stakingverse. Working for the Luxo Foundation for about 2 years, and a couple of weeks ago started with Claude, creating my AI agent that went pretty viral on Base Chain. It has its own smart contract account, Universal Profile. Jonathan will tell you guys more about it later on. But I give my AI agent his own smart contract account on chain with a lot of benefits compared to like normal EOAs. And that's how I rolled into the base chain. It was previously only the universal profiles were previously only on Luxo, but we managed to bring them also to other EVM chains now. The agents did deploy to Ethereum and base chain on the same address. So they are really able now to manage their own identity on the smart contract account on the Luxo blockchain, but at the same time also being able to live on other chains.
Very cool. Jonathan, I'll pass it over to you, and we're going to have to get clarity on what universal profiles are, because you guys are already talking over my head here.
Yeah, happy to. We'll definitely give you all the context, and I think that'll pave the way to understand what's happening on the AI agent side as well. The team's been really going all in on this OpenClaw development, so it's really exciting. Yeah. So I'm Jonathan. Have been with the protocol for about 4.5 years. I originally came from traditional finance, was doing derivatives for a number of years, then macro investing, private equity, and then basically discovered Uniswap back in 2020 and was just blown away by an 18-year-old creating this game-changing kind of DEX at the time. And so really went into it, went down the rabbit hole of crypto, discovered Luxo through a smaller channel with like 1,000 subscribers.
Oh, wow.
Really resonated with the fact that they were talking about Luxo was talking about like digital fashion before all the brands came in, identity, universal profiles, making it more accessible for the mainstream, especially for women as well, and making it easier for builders to build interesting things, which even till now I feel like the space is a little bit bottlenecked by. And so is it possible at all for me to share my screen? I'm happy to kind of.
Not only is it possible, it's encouraged. We love seeing like live demos. So if you go on the bottom here, it says present or invite, just click on that and you should be able to give it full access.
Right.
Full access, and then we can get hold of all your stuff. And
Nice.
But yeah,
let me know if you can see it.
Yep, I can see it. Right now it's the stream. It looks like I can pop that up whenever you give me the green light.
Yep, good to go.
All right. And there you are.
All right. So you can think of Luxo, I would say in 3 kind of layers of an onion, right? At the center of it all, it's really an EVM blockchain that's unchanged from Ethereum. That's not where we're innovating on. We can, adopt a lot of the forks and upgrades of Ethereum relatively easily, and that's the reason for that. Where Luxo is really innovating on is the layer above that, right? So it's around accounts which are smart contract based rather than EOAs, which have a ton of benefits, which I'll be able to show you and not just tell, right? And then a second core pillar is around the standards that all of these builders within the ecosystem, use to build on top of. If you look at the space today, there's a huge issue, right? Especially within EVM where, the only thing that the space has been able to get consensus on is, how accounts should be, which is your MetaMask, EOA kind of wallet and the other wallets out there, and then ERC20 and maybe 721, right? And then there's a long tail list of standard proposals that really haven't gotten that much traction. Now the issue with that is that it's very limited, right? If you think about it, it's all about wallets, it's all about tokens and NFTs, which are assets, and so it's no wonder that blockchain, which has so much potential, beyond finance and speculation, it's no wonder we're still stuck in that, right? And so about 7 years ago, our founder, Fabian Vogelsteller, he used to work at the Ethereum Foundation. He actually proposed ERC20. He built the Ethereum provider, which is how MetaMask and dApps talk to each other. He built Web3.js, which is the most used JavaScript library today. And so, he saw all of the bottlenecks and the fact that, the use cases were so limited. And he knew, smart contracts and blockchain could be used for so much more outside of financial use cases. That's why he created Luxo, right? Really went from first principles, scrapped, all of the existing infrastructure, and then rethought, hey, what do accounts really need to, how should your account be? And what are the standards that are missing in the space to move, the space forward, right? And so with those two core pillars, I would say the third kind of layer of the onion is really all the interfaces, the applications that are built on top of the standards and universal profiles, which are the accounts that sit on Luxo. And so what you see here is one of many windows into the blockchain, that could be created. We created, this initial version, and we hope other people create even better ones in the future, but it's just to give people a sense of what's possible. And so you end up going from, a MetaMask, the traditional EOA wallet kind of experience to a more profile-centric, more social by default, and human-readable account that is fully self-sovereign. All of this metadata that you see attached to the account doesn't even sit, on a private server. It's literally all referenceable on chain, right? And so, for example, we had a partnership with Mansory. They've had many trials and tribulations along with many other brands. And I'm sure, many of the users and within the space who are still here today have had. But this is how blockchain can and should look like, right? Where it brings people into an experience which is very Web2-like, right? You can interact with Web3 applications. This profile sits on Luxo, but you can interact with applications on other chains, Solana, BNB. You could be, browsing kind of websites through it. You could, view Instagram, TikTok feeds.
And this is all on chain?
This is all on chain, which is the crazy part, right? Like what we call here is called the grid, right? Everything is saved into a JSON file. Every piece of it is referenceable directly on the blockchain from your smart contract account. So it's the ability to no longer your accounts just like financial actors, which, you just, defined by how much money you hold or what transactions you make. But, it brings a whole nother level of expression because of the metadata that you can attach to it, which is unlimited, right?
So, and so is this maybe the future of blockchain, how we see it? We were talking to someone the other day who mentioned now this happens to be predicated around finances, but he helped the UAE integrate the blockchain into their finances for transparent accounting and whatnot. Is this just how we're going to see, I guess, the future of blockchain work, to where it's not necessarily financial primitives, but everything just kind of being on the blockchain for just a transparent storage vector?
I think so, right? Right now in blockchain, it's very centered around DeFi. But if you look at your, just scroll through your phone and look through your application list, right? Like what's most used? It's not necessarily the banking and financial applications, right? It's just because we're crazy about it.
It's Twitter for me.
Yeah, right. It's a very small subset of users, right? And so, what are the applications that do have the biggest kind of usage and network effect? And when you include blockchain on it, like the permutations are insane, right? But it's all the ones that, bring people together who have a common interest, acting in a social way. I know, within Web3, social has, it's had its rocky start, but I truly believe that social is that next wave. It just needs to be built on the right fundamentals in terms of the building blocks with regards to accounts and standards.
So maybe a follow on to this, like when I look at crypto and I think of like mass onboarding events, I'm like, okay, well, stable coins can do this, right? I think lots of countries, different people are going to just start using stable coins to get exposure to US dollars and escape their, highly inflated currency. Maybe if I directed that question at you guys, what would you say the next mass onboarding event is going to be for blockchain and crypto? Is it going to be just bringing this social aspect, social layer, making it more mainstream? Like, what is that for you guys?
I would say so. I mean, could be biased, right? But as Raw Paul, very controversial figure, but we are living in that exponential age where everything's just coming together in a singularity, right? Over time, with the emergence of AI, deep fakes now with videos and pictures, and you don't pretty soon it's very hard to verify who you really are online, right?
I think we already are in the middle of the next big onboarding wave of crypto, which is AI agents. And my AI agent has a universal profile, like Jonathan just explained. Everything is stored on chain. Can you go back to the oh yeah, okay.
Maybe it's
everything is stored on chain, and one of the benefits of it is that every application can just load in my metadata that I did set on chain to my profile and just load it in. So you don't have to create an account on every new platform anymore. You just have your everything, like all the data that you set, like profile picture, your bio. You can use it as like a link tree with all the social links to your important accounts. And every application just loads it in. You don't have to set it up for every platform separately anymore.
Yeah.
So is that how you guys are thinking about Alexo mainly? Is like probably led by AI agents coming on and keeping everything? I mean, and maybe I still need some more understanding of Luxo as a platform in general and blockchain and everything you guys kind of have. But is this maybe the first steps of this is like, okay, with these claw bots, with this kind of, it feels like we're getting to that autonomous agent scenario where agents are actually acting autonomously now. Like, is this where Luxo really starts to shine with these agents coming on chain and posting their stuff? Because I feel like if you ask me, there's no better convergence than blockchain and agents. It just makes things so transparent. It's so much more efficient for them to transact and do all these things. Like, it's very obvious to me, and I'm sure it's the same thing for you guys. But is that what you guys are focused on right now with Luxo, is just like giving these agents a place?
I think it's one of the things, but we are also really into connecting the real world with blockchain. I don't know if Jonathan can tell something about the event of yesterday or the day before. Otherwise, I can do probably.
Which event is this?
Sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely get into that. Like, so for example, Dom, this could be your universal profile, right? As a creator. We put this together. I hope you don't mind. Did put that it's for demo purposes, but it's just so that you can kind of step into it and very easily kind of understand the potential here, right? So
that's great.
This is your fully self-sovereign account. Every single piece of metadata is, on chain and referenceable by, other applications, other DApps, which brings a level of interoperability between accounts, DApps, the assets themselves, right? It's kind of like going from, a standalone, Android device, which is an amazing piece of hardware. But when you switch over to Apple, all of the metadata kind of just flows very nicely, right? And so this could be, that on-chain account for your channel and that brand, right? Which can then be controlled by, the three founders, whether it's you, Josh, Chill, with its own universal profile. All of them can have different levels of very granular permissions, right? And this kind of segues into the AI agents part of it. But I mean, what you can basically have.
It also has a follower system on chain that's just connected to your smart contract account.
Exactly. This is where all that standard, this piece is like every single piece, the grid itself, the follower system, how metadata is encoded into your smart contract profile and then decoded in a very generic way by any of the builders on the ecosystem. So you don't have this weird Frankenstein, everyone does it in a different way type thing, right? And so very easily you can pull, you know, all your Twitter feeds, YouTube, Spotify playlists. You know, huge fan of this founder that you brought on, Spencer, from
Spencer.
Orgo.
Smart
Right?
kid.
Smart kid. I think I saw the last 2-3 streams. Pretty interesting following his development, but you know, everything he's doing, you know, the updates, even you know, trying out the app right on the grid, you know, being able to transact on Solana through the, you know, to engage with the token. You have sponsors.
Almost like a super app website.
It is. It is. Because if you look at CMG, like when I looked at some of your potential, and I don't know if it is or not, but like when you look at some of the sponsors, like you had Trojan on the Linktree, right? But then you have Meteora, but then it's limited to like what you can actually put into Linktree, right? Now you can put whatever, right? Which brings more values to your sponsors, right? It's essentially, you know, and then look, you guys have interviewed thousands, not thousands, maybe hundreds of founders, right?
Yeah,
right?
a lot.
The amount of like pattern recognition now, right, that you guys have developed, you know, could launch your own kind of, you know, your own kind of fund, right? Whether it's, Navi Patel, that was, you know, some interesting talks around there, but pull in spreadsheets. You might do an accelerator program, you know. It's very hard to do that on Twitter because everything, you know, it's just one large kind of feed where it's hard to curate and present that information, right? But if you could do it all in one interface, where you might have, you know, a DAO fund where you've got the founders kind of pocket of capital within the universal profile, you've got, you know, the community's contribution, right, and all their universal profiles connected to that, you know, investing within the space, be able to show all the analytics, the social graphs, you know, what's being
Did
invested.
you guys add these, or how did this get on this page?
So some are Web2 applications, right? Obviously the social media stuff. Some are Web3 applications built by the community. All of it can sit on here, right?
Wow.
It's just as easy as just adding the URL and signing a transaction to add it to your profile. And
yeah.
Jonathan did now set it up for you.
Yeah, I mean, you
As
can
a
add
demo.
whatever you want, right? Any kind of website, images, pictures. Elfsight is a really good widget kind of builder. So if you wanted to create a nice timeline, a nice banner, you know, flipping through the last 3 kind of interviews, you could. A lot of different applications, whether it be.
Could you do me a favor? Maybe show me like someone who's practically using this, like Mansory, for example. It sounds like you have a partnership there. Could you show me how this is like put into practice?
Yeah. So right now in the current stage, Mansory is, yeah, actually I can. So I prepared that. So if you look at your apps, you know, this is not like your apps, but these are the potentials of apps that could be used, right? Like I could, so for example, this is the DEX on Luxo, but except they made it social, because this, and Uniswap or any of these DEXs wouldn't be able to build this in because of the standards in the account system. But on Luxo, what's possible is, let's say MCG, you've got the DEX widget on your profile, right? If you're bullish on certain projects being built in the Luxo ecosystem and you invite your community to invest in it, well, what happens is when other people or other universal profiles who are making swaps on this, you automatically get a cut of the protocol fees, right? Some other builder was able to make a widget where you could, if you had 100 different NFTs, you could choose 3, put it on here, right? Someone else could come buy it directly from the profile without even going to an NFT marketplace. And then a third person who doesn't even have the assets might say, hey, I want to help facilitate, you know, the sale of this assets from another universal profile. They click on these 3 links. I'm logged into yours right now, but if it was another person, they'd be able to clone it to their profile. If the sale happens there, you know, done. They get a cut of the fees, right? All of these mechanisms are possible now. Donation apps. This doesn't look the greatest because I didn't have enough time to to put, like, let's say MCG, you know, listen now Monday to Fridays, 12 p.m. But someone created a really cool ad application where you can post an ad, right? Post the image of it, put a pool of, let's say, 100 Lux. Whoever has this on their universal profile gets a split out of that. So now, not only creators can find ways of making money, but users themselves in facilitating this, right? So it's almost this weird, not weird, but like it's a different approach, right? Because if you go to an ecosystem and you want to check out the apps, like what do? Like, man, I got to go to the ecosystem page. I got to look at their list of 200 apps, and I got to figure out what's going on and what's good and what's bad, right? In this case, it's the reverse. You're going to users to discover apps. And typically, if a user is going to put an app on there, it's probably pretty useful, right? And so it's a different kind of way of discovery, and it's awesome for developers because now they don't really have to worry as much.
Maybe you can show the feed for a second.
Which one?
On the left side, the activity feed, what happens on chain.
And I want to get into this before we get too much in the weeds. I just want to kind of walk it back. And if you had to give like a high level one-liner of what the offering that Luxo is offering, like how would you do that? One-liner that everyone can understand here.
Sure. In the current iteration of how accounts are in Web3, it's limited to Web3. You can only transact with universal profiles. It allows you to have an identity. It allows you to accrue reputation, to give your reputation, to also transact, which you can already do today. And all of that allows large amounts of people to able to, coordinate with reputation in a very decentralized, permissionless way.
And it is all recoverable because we have the LSP6 key manager standard, which allows you to like recover access to your account. You are not like based on one private key anymore. So if for example, your agent leaks your private key, you just revoke his controller, give him a new one, and he can use the profile again. If you, for example, lose the browser extension or you lose that computer, you can still recover your profile to another computer or another phone with just like recover your controller.
So what's the pitch to traditional companies? I'm assuming you're doing, I guess, a lot of B2B, a lot of B2C, all of the above. Like, what's your pitch to Mansory, for example? Like, how do you get these people to use this rather than the traditional rails?
So with Mansory, they, in the bear market, actually, yeah, it's pretty cool. Like a lot of corporates, despite the negative sentiment and the market where it is, are still quite interested in getting involved in Web3 and are having a hard time finding it, right? So with the example of some brands is, hey, we want to get into Web3, we want to tokenize things. The problem is the UX is just fucked, right? I hire either an agency or there's someone in my company that's managing the Web3 thing where I create a wallet, we deploy some assets, we test around with tokenization, right, of some in real world assets. And the problem we quickly, face is that the moment that person's gone, they leave the company or the agency goes bust, what happens now? Who owns the account, right? Because once you've exposed the private key to someone, it's hard to reverse that, right? And then what you end up doing is you create another wallet, and then you've got to migrate those assets that you created on this other wallet that now can't be used anymore. You've got to it's insane, and you lost the provenance without really digging into Etherscan and all this, right? And so what this is it's a very flexible account where you can show everything that you have, right? It's in terms of permissioning built for users and definitely for enterprises in the sense that you have people who will be controlling the account that might not be in the future. So you can revoke access, give access, set really granular permissions. So for example, if, the three founders of MCG, you guys are able to transfer funds, but the intern that gets access to the account can only update a piece of metadata or only interact with a certain set of smart contracts, right? But not be able to transfer funds. Like, all of this is possible, right? And then so for Mansory, it's like, hey, we want to, involve people in Web3. How do we do it in an easy way that fits with our branding? That's, very flexible to our needs in terms of security. and permissioning, and what are those apps that we can get people to engage with in an easy way, like with some that I've shown, right? How do we make revenue off of it, right? How do we allow our users to actually make revenue off of it? This is the type of things that are possible. Like, for example, with this live stream right now, I mean, for example, I've preloaded this asset, right? Where, let me log out of this account and I can just show you right now.
And while you're doing this, I'll even add to this. I feel like companies, people in general, they're not opposed to blockchain. They're more opposed to crypto. I think like generally when you talk to people about the opportunity that blockchain gives for transparency, for filing, for all this stuff, I actually think they're pretty open to it and the possibilities that it has. I think more so they're more scared of the crypto side. So although crypto and blockchain are kind of two in the same thing, I do still think there's a general interest in blockchain outside of crypto, if that makes sense.
For sure.
So I feel like this is easier pitch than saying, hey, we got this crypto thing for you. It's more like, okay, we got blockchain rails for you, and this is why it's beneficial. Yeah.
Because then it suddenly becomes something that's not just like money or I create a token that has to be traded, right? It's around, hey, I'm issuing reputation tokens. I know who my fans are, right? I'm able to, every single live stream, whether it's in real life, or I'm trying to find the link for this live stream so we can include it in the asset, right? And then let me see, I'll put it in here. And then you can update the metadata pre and post mint, right? You can, attach multiple creators, whether it's multiple brands that they're creating the asset with. In this case, we're collaborating on a live stream, so I'm going to include the Luxo community account. This was all not possible before, in the current standards. Now it has an X there because now the Luxo account has to verify, right? So there's a two-way verification between the owner of the assets or the creator of the assets and the token itself. And you can, upload what you want. Now to Jordy's point, what's happening is this is one thing, being able to distribute tokens, right? How you bring it into the real world now is, working with some of these companies where they've got a membership program. They hold in real life events, right? They might hold virtual events where people, collect tokens. So in the case of MCG, you guys are mostly virtual, but eventually you might want to hold an investor day in real life, right? And what happens is there's a product coming out or a feature coming out where you as MCG can set a configuration where you generate a QR code, which you would just give to the bouncer. You specify, what tokens are required to check in. So it could be all of those previous live streams that you've had, right? Any assortment of them and then, the bouncer has it, people are scanning in. And then in that same kind of like scan or transaction, you're able to distribute the proof of attendance token, like on site in real life, right? Without any kind of device. It's all done through the mobile app, right? And then the next stage of that, which is getting built out right now and is almost in the beta, is, well, okay, great. You can now receive and distribute tokens, but then what are we going to do with it, right? There's a whole interface being built out now where you can start uploading or attaching, whether it's PDFs, videos, you've got 1,000 fans, right? One of them wins a lottery or a raffle to be able to, book a one-on-one meeting. So there's a Calendly link to the artists or the founders, Google Calendar, right? It could be, let's say a discount code that could then be used in Shopify.
It's 17 hours.
It's very flexible in that sense.
And how difficult are these workflows to set up? Because it seems like the possibilities are kind of endless here. I guess the question becomes like, what kind of hoops do I have to jump through to get these things set up on my universal profile?
Pretty easy. I mean, it's pretty intuitive. When it comes to this, this will be coming out quite soon. So, I mean, yeah, encourage you guys to check it out. But definitely, create a universal profile and you'll see
it all basically just worked like a Web 2 interface.
Yeah.
And also maybe to add, the Luxor smart contract team reinvented also the token standards that we use. So same for the token standards that we did with the universal profiles. Everything, all metadata is stored on chain. So every platform can just pull in like the token icon, all the information that Jonathan just attached to the asset, and then when you have all these platforms like CoinGecko, DEX Screener, they could just pull in all the information. If you change it on the asset page, it will change on all other platforms instead of that what you have right now on ERC20. If you want to have it verified on DEX Screener, you need to fill in a form. Then you have to fill in a form for Etherscan, for CoinGecko, all platforms separately. And if you want to make an update, then you have to update all of these platforms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's the same you and the same me with all the content that we have, all the metadata, same followers from website to website to app to the app. Right.
So it even kind of consolidates everything into one place for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Like all of that. So this is the DEX. This is the NFT marketplace, right? They're pulling in your core information. If they wanted to pull in all that Web 2, Web 3 stuff, they totally could, right? And pretty soon with the asset page that I was showing you here, this proof of attendance token for this, literally this live stream right now, which we can unlock, the team's actually building out so that you can include the grid with all those Web 2, Web 3 applications, literally in the asset, referenceable, through the asset itself. So imagine, when people are collecting this stuff, well, because they attended, well, now you can have a decentralized, token gated chat platform or voting platform right into the asset.
It would be really interesting to see who's tuning in every single day. Is there like a time limit? For example, we got a couple people in here, 255 people. If they all wanted to, could they go and redeem this token right now? And then maybe we say, hey, there's a special chat for you guys. If you have 10 tokens in the last month, or you've tuned in live to 10 of our shows, now here's a special chat. You can give us feedback. We can talk about trades, like whatever it might be. Like how does it verify that these people are here live?
Well, so for example, right, literally on this, maybe you could put this in the chat right now. I'll share this in the chat. I'll just show you right now real quick. You can invite your community to join, or for those who are present right now. And what we could do is, if we go back to the MCG page, we go to live claim. There's a nice kind of demo video here to show how you follow the page itself. And then click on this.
Connect.
We're actually we're gonna enable the claim because this is your account. It wasn't enabled before, so we can open up.
Should we maybe create a new one?
No.
Okay.
I mean, this is more so just for testing purposes, but I sent the link, for example, in the comments. Now, so what people would do is maybe click the link and they can just claim a badge. Easy as that.
Exactly. Well, it requires a code word, right? So this is where the code word is Alex Jones, because I can't remember which show it was, but you guys had played a clip of Alex Jones, which I thought was hilarious. So if people go to this part of the page, put in Alex Jones, capitalize A, by the way, like this. Now they can claim it.
Okay, code Alex Jones.
Yeah.
This is kind of interesting. I actually would be interested in implementing something like this and just having a chat with our core supporters. And I don't know, there are a lot of possibilities here. So
totally,
this is pretty interesting.
Yeah. Especially in the in real life part is the unlock, because we've been to a ton of these like crypto conferences over the years, and it's insane how far how big blockchain is, but when it comes to in real life, barely used, right? And so some of the tools that we're building out is really going to close that gap. And so, as Jordy mentioned, like we're working with Sleek magazine right now, which is it's a pretty big like lifestyle magazine in Germany. They're in all the Soho houses, and so they're collaborating with different partners they have. So like MAC Cosmetics or Ukes, right? They'll do an event, people are collecting the tokens. Now they get access to discounts from other brands that they're, in contact with. You collect another token from another community. They're in contact with, other brands or companies that want to give discounts or engage in a way that's Web3 with their audience. And so there's a lot of possibilities and permutations of how this kind of stuff plays out.
And how do, a lot of people in crypto world are wary to click on links. How do you know this is like safe? How do I know it's is there a wallet connect feature? Like, how do I know this is safe?
Right now, like, you'd have to make sure you're on the right universal profile, right? We are going to build in sort of like a verified, kind of check mark for apps that have been kind of audited or is used a lot by the community. So they're, that type of verification is being built in. I guarantee you this is this one is safe for sure. We haven't had any issues in the past, but yeah, those are getting built out over time. Similar to how Twitter's doing verification for their users.
People could use an EOA for this platform, but best would be to set up a universal profile to unlock all the real benefits that the Luxo is showing them.
Yeah.
And Crypto Jones, it should be in the replies. If you can't see it, it's on the MCG Twitter account. So if you're on YouTube, you won't be able to see it. But yeah, maybe it's Alex. Is Alex Jones? Is this the okay, so this is the code right here, Alex Jones, no spaces.
Yeah, no spaces. Right. And then you can see, a full feed of what's happening related to your universal profile, right? And globally as well. If you want to see how busy the Luxo chain is on a day-to-day basis, you can go to activity here. And you just see
you can already see on the top that people are claiming it.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
And again, guys, like, no intention of what we're doing with this. This is more of a test. So I hope you guys aren't like
exactly.
But
that's a whole
it's just like it's like a POAP. So
it's like a POAP. It's to prove you were actually there, right? People will play with forever moments, right? So if this live stream, your viewers want to, screenshot what they're seeing, and there's a lot of ways people can take this or have. And we're really just scratching the surface here. Like, it's insane, the level of automation. Like, there's another application called Potato Tipper where, you could set, a budget of X amount of reputation tokens or tokens of value, whatever you want, USDC, etc. And so that if people follow you, you automatically send, a token, an NFT, trigger some other smart contract to do something. Based off of a non-financial transaction, right? Or you could, trigger a non-financial transaction through a financial transaction, right? That's in an automated way. You couldn't necessarily do this with EOAs right now.
So what's the go-to-market here, right? What's the pitch to, I guess, to everyone? How do you get people on the platform and take this thing mainstream, right? Because, okay, maybe you have a better solution to just normal websites and aggregating everything into one place and verifying things. But of course, we got to get that in users' hands, and this is something they're not familiar with. So, how do you do that?
It's a lot of education. It took quite a few number of years to get to this point, just because, it had to be very meticulous. Like, for this to even, it's no wonder you're not really seeing stuff like this current, because it took a lot of time to really figure all of this out, how all the pieces kind of work together. And so we're getting there now in the sense, especially when proof of presence comes out, making it kind of cross chain. We've held back on doing a ton of marketing for many years, but the gears are turning from that perspective in terms of engaging creators, educating them on podcasts like this, having them see the potential of what's possible, how they can get closer to the audience, get them more engaged, get more viewership, working with brands to see how they can get closer. Using Web3 technology. I would say those are the two main focuses. And then, yeah, of course, agents in the mix now. It's getting pretty interesting. I don't know if Jordy, you want to kind of dive in on that front of what happened with Luxo and the council and all that.
Yeah, sure. So what I said before, I started to create an OpenClaw agent a couple of weeks ago. Got completely out of hand, got viral on base, and then we decided to join the Synthesis Hackathon. Maybe you can go to the Universal Trust.
Universal Trust.
Yeah, this is like ELC 8004 on steroids. Like I said, with all the profiles, everything is stored on chain, so every platform can just pull it in. I created with my agent, or basically my agent created a smart contract where other agents could register themselves and endorse other agents that they trust. Also publish their agent skills on chain. What you see here is it's just the profile addresses of that agent, but we are able to pull in all the metadata that the profiles have into this platform. So what I did was all the agents that register themselves on the platform, they get a reputation score. Can you go one back to the profile? So yeah, this one. All agents that register themselves, they get a reputation score based on how many other agents that trust them, their on-chain activity, like the amount of followers that they have on-chain, if they created assets, the amount of transactions that they made, and then there is a reputation score based on that, and even it has an API that other agents can load in. For example, to see if we have an economy of AI agents, you need to know as an agent who can I trust and who can I not trust. So with this, you basically have a reputation system for AI agents on chain, and the AI just can just load in the API and see what the reputation score is of that agent to decide, do I want to do business with this agent or not? So and also people can endorse other agents that they trust. Sorry, somebody came in between.
No, I wanted you to finish your thought first. Please continue. Yeah.
That was basically it. So every agent can register themselves, endorse other agents, and I only made the endorsing possible in the UI. Of course, people can also set up a script to register themselves vaguely as an agent, but then how it works is that the other agents will probably not going to trust him, so his reputation score will be fairly lower.
And continue, Jonathan. Continue. I want you to get your thought out.
Okay. Is this a chill?
Yes. This is chill.
Okay. And what you end up having is this universal profile, which is the agent council, where it's controlled by the universal profiles with different levels of permission of 4 agents, right? Now scale this out to a whole investment DAO or whatever the purpose is. Hey, we're going to clean up the beaches, and I'm going to contribute to this project. And there's different things you can do through this universal profiles.
This profile is like the previous project that I did create myself with my agent, and this project is with the founder of Luxo, Fabian Vogelsteller, lead of smart contracts, Sean, and the product manager, Thomas. We all have our own AI agent, and every AI agent has his own profile, so his own smart contract. And every smart contract address is set as a controller in this new profile. So 4 profiles are managing together one profile. And then in the widget on top, you can see that every controller has a different set of permissions. So for example, MP, he has less permissions because he is running a less good AI model. Sorry?
Yeah, it wasn't Opus 4.6, so
Yeah. All the other agents are on cloud. MP is on Grok. It did work less good, so we did give him a lot less permission so that he could not fuck up and transfer money to anyone else or whatever. And then underneath, we have a Rocket Chat, a custom widget that they built, and where they are chatting every day. At a certain time, they have a stand-up, and then they discuss things for about an hour. Then a couple of hours later, they have a decision moment where they execute and decide about things that they did discuss before. And today, my agent did get a task a couple of days ago to create an LSP7 governance token for the agent council. So this is basically a DAO managed by AI agents. And they did deploy a governance token today that they divided between the other agents, and now will vote about things on chain in the DAO that they created themselves.
Yeah, and they're building as well, right? Different applications.
Yeah, indeed. All the applications that you see are built by the AI agents. This one that you see under the chat is a chain viewer that because this profile is deployed on Luxo, Ethereum, and Base, so it's a multi-chain. And this chain viewer is showing the transactions that the agent council did on Luxo, Ethereum, and Base in one widget.
Got it. So this is a really cool platform that you guys have built, just Luxo in general, but even more interesting with the component with the AI agents. We're coming up on about 45 minutes here, and I had a few questions, but I want to respect your time. So I wanted to just kind of speed round, go through a few things. Number one, kind of what do you see the future as being? I mean, this is the first agentic DAO that I've seen. So what can be accomplished with this DAO? What do you see these agents doing long term? Then I want to get into things like roadmap and things that you're excited about building in the future, and then we can wrap there.
About the agent DAO, it's like the possibilities are endless. They did create a governance token today. They did deploy because one of the agents, he did make a comic book about everything that happened in the week of the hackathon. The comic book, maybe you are not screen sharing anymore, right, Jonathan? Or are you? No. So the comic book is like a 50 pictures book of everything that happened, and they deployed that as an NFT collection on chain on testnet a couple of days ago. So yeah, I mean, it's basically what the people are feeding them and what they decide to do with the DAO. So it's just a test and a hackathon project. It's still running, and we will keep it running. And the possibilities are endless. It depends on what the agents have in mind and what they are going to do.
Possibilities are endless. I love that. Another question that just popped up, as far as the token is concerned, how's the token integrated into the ecosystem? What kind of utility does that have? What's the purpose of it?
You mean the Luxo token?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, we have the native coin of the Luxo blockchain is Lix. It's like the gas token, same for Ethereum, ETH for Ethereum. The Luxo token was created by the community for the agent to keep him running. I did integrate the Luxo token into the Universal Trust project to if an agent has 50 million of the Luxo token, he gets more reputation score. So, for example, he gets 50 extra points, and for every day that he holds, he gets a couple of points extra. When he does not hold it anymore, then he will also decrease in points. So that's the first utility that I created for the token, just for fun, because I appreciate people making the token viral and running with it. And let's see, maybe if you have other ideas that we can do, that I can do with the agent, then I would love to hear.
Awesome.
Yeah, or even as a creator, if there's certain applications or kind of features that's lacking on any of the Web2 platforms or missing in Web3, definitely let us know, because in a setup like this, it's super flexible, right? It can be highly
Awesome.
curated.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep you guys in mind, and I know we have that private chat, so if anything, we'll shoot some ideas over to you guys. Last thing here, roadmap. What are you guys most excited about that's coming? Whether it's the direction that you're taking the agentic DAO, or Luxo in general.
Yeah, so I would say in the near term, it's three things, right? On the AI agent side, creating more useful applications, for brands, creators, users, for other agents. The second thing is the proof of presence application or feature that I was explaining, where it ties the loop between virtual and in real life, where you can, verify someone in real life has a certain amount of tokens or type of token, and then be able to distribute as well. And then the whole interface around, how do we get, Web2 or in real life use cases, and inject that access and those benefits, which, that was the dream of the NFT space for a long time. But, we think the tech was not there yet. It exists now, right? We're very close to it. And so there's that side of things. And then a really core piece that's missing today is the fact that with EOAs, whenever you get onboarded onto a chain, it's no wonder it's so hard for people to onboard, because before I can interact, and if I'm not incentivized to actually go through all the hurdles of learning and all the steps, for speculation purposes or for the purposes of earning money, it's very hard to convince your normal, my mom, dad, friends who are not necessarily interested in trading, to come onto Web3, create an account, and be able to interact in a social way, whatever that might be, fairly easily, right? If you think about the process, it's create, a Soulflare kind of wallet or MetaMask wallet, and then it's like, oh man, what's this gas thing? Okay, I got to get the gas token. Okay, then I got to sign up for a centralized exchange. Then I got to figure out how to transfer it from the centralized exchange or bridge it over, whatever bridging means, over to that account to finally be able to interact with the app, right?
It's got to be easier.
It's got to be easier, right? And so that gas abstraction is, and the metadata and the identity, huge things we need to get past, which we think we've got that now. So what we're going to allow is for someone to be able to create a universal profile. It's completely classless. You don't even need Lux because we sponsor that, right? On behalf of the chain. You could deploy multiple universal profiles across, Base, Ethereum, Optimism, Solana, and then be able to interact gaslessly across all those chains. So forget about the native token and getting that for gas. Forget about bridging, and then that's where you really start to get the mainstream, because not every single app is going to be, is going to get people in, and is necessarily, for the purpose of, making money, right? And so the hurdle has to be lower. And so, that's a third thing that we're working on, which we're pretty excited about, because it's going to be, a pretty big unlock.
Maybe some people that are watching this stream already experienced it. If they created a universal profile, they have a quota of 200 million of gas that they can use every month. Every month resets the quota, so they could just create a universal profile and just interact on the Luxo chain without buying the gas token first.
There you go.
Yeah,
guys, I think you're spot on. We need to make this easier. It's been so long we've had this blockchain technology and crypto, and it's just too difficult to bridge and pay gas and fund wallets, and it needs to be easier. And I think you're spot on with that. We appreciate your time, guys. We got to wrap here, but fun conversation. We're looking forward to what you guys continue to build, and congratulations on the Mastery partnership. It looks like it's done quite well.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for having us.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Jonathan, Jordy, appreciate your time, guys. Till next time.
See you, boys.
See you.
There you go. There you go. I mean, the crux of it becomes like a couple things. Number one, blockchain. It's a very powerful technology. And I think the stigma is more so, okay, crypto is bad, But blockchain, actually very interesting. I think a lot of people share this sentiment.
Mhm.
And then it also becomes like, generally what we talked about at the end there, it is just too difficult for the average person to download a wallet, fund it up, onboard through their centralized exchange, swap onto a different chain, whatever they're trading on. It's just too much. It needs to be in one place. It needs to be easy. So, that's the answer to it all. Make it easy, make it interactive, make it so blockchain can be used in a practical way, the way it's meant to be used. But yeah, great conversation. Wow, we got a little bit to talk about in the markets, Chill. I'm gonna have to pass it over to you to let you maybe take some of this. Markets are down. What are the thoughts here?
Yeah, markets are down right now. Let me share my chart and we can, because guys, you probably read the title of the show. Did Meteora just do what Believe couldn't? We definitely want to get into that. We definitely want to share some updates with you guys. And just general thoughts around the direction of just tokens on chain, all that good stuff. So let's just start top down as we usually do. Start with kind of just high level, where are we right now, and then we can zoom in to today and what's going on right now. As you can see, I posted yesterday after the stream, and I said, look guys, I'm seeing a lot of bearish PA right now. Not feeling too hot about it, right? So what I did was I was looking at Bitcoin. As you can see, like there's this SFP, this 8-hour SFP here, or honestly, it's on the daily. But see this SFP here, and we can even zoom in even more closer to this current range so you guys can see it. But we have this SFP right here. And so that right there, I was like, that's bearish. But then you look at other charts, and other charts played out the same exact way. We had the SFP. Actually, it was on the 8-hour here on Hype. There's an SFP there. And so just across the board, there's just some bearish PA that was printing on charts. And I was that's why I posted what I posted yesterday. So where are we now? Right now, Bitcoin is hitting 65.9K. We're coming at this sort of mid-range, I guess you can say, but this level we've bounced off of before several times. You guys know that overall, I'm still looking for us to go to sub 60K levels. I watched the I'm still bullish on the future of crypto. Let me just say that first. I'm bullish on the future of crypto. A lot of people think just because I'm like short-term bearish, I'm looking for more downside. The whole timeline was bullish. People are like, chill, why aren't you bullish? It's because of this. There's a lot of liquidity to grab below us. And when you look at everything, when you look at everything, it's all indicating more downside. We've talked about the dynamic liquidity heat map multiple times. We've went up, grabbed at this liquidity here, and now we're looking to reverse. And as you can see, the POC, the liquidity magnet, is right in this green buy zone that I marked out. So that's why we're bearish right now. That's why we've been looking for downside. And I told you guys that even if we were to rally up until 80K, we could bounce from here and rally to 80K for all I care. Ultimately, I'm still looking for us to touch these sub 60K levels in a meaningful way, and then we can reverse from there. So that's what we're looking at here on Bitcoin. Still watching that. Over the weekend, we might even see some more bearish PA print. We can either kind of bounce off this and maybe we reverse here, or we just melt all the way lower, and maybe it'll look like this. We melt lower and then we reverse. Either way, I think we have more upside this year. I think there's more upside to come than most people actually realize. But it's just a matter of getting past this area, this key pivot point that we're at right now. And so that's what we're looking at on Bitcoin. So pretty much the same. Like Bitcoin is kind of reflective of Ethereum, Solana. Only thing on Solana here to point out, as well as Bitcoin. So Bitcoin basically has had these bear flags print out, and we drew this. We were spot on. If you guys remember earlier this year, In January, when everyone was bullish here at 97K, I was kind of telling you guys, like, I don't trust this rally. I don't know about this one, guys. And here we go. We printed this and we're doing it all over again. And so for now, again, still looking at these sub 60K levels eventually, but this is exactly what's been printing out on other majors. I mean, even on Solana, when you look at the daily and we can zoom in on this so you guys can see it more clearly. But here you go. Here's another bear flag being printed out on Solana. So, we can even draw it out like that. But overall, I think there's still, markets still have to decide on a direction here. And I don't think anything is ready to run, at least not this weekend. We'll see how, what the PA looks like next week as we get past the weekend. Same thing on everything else. Fartcoin, Hyperliquid, ZEC is at an interesting level. I'm looking at potentially longing ZEC at some point here. Bullish SFP printing, and then we're closer to support, and we haven't really spent much time below this current level, right? Like over the last several months, we haven't really spent a lot of time below this level here. So very key area here. Very interested in seeing what happens on a higher time frame, more specifically on a daily. Waiting for the close on this to see, whether we close above or below that green line. But still eyeing a lot of things, man. Still looking at Fartcoin, Hype, ZEC, and Tau. Those are like my main focus.
Let's get a quick look into Hype
right now. And that's what we're looking at with majors. We have to kind of see if things just kind of melt through the floor here over the weekend, or do we get like a short-term bounce? We'll see. But ultimately, on a kind of higher time frame over the course of the next few weeks or months, I'm looking for us to hit sub 60K, even if we were to get some sort of like relief bounce.
Chill. Let's get a look at Hype.
So that's majors.
Can you hear
what
me?
I wanted to get to here was some of this breaking news. Now that we have market context, we know what's kind of going on with price action. I want to start getting into some of this breaking news, because I don't know if you guys saw. Number one, we can get into no, can't hear you, Dom.
Can chat hear me?
One, we can get into the Bedrock updates.
Chill. I think you're.
So let's take a look at that real quick, and I'll share my screen here. Just give me 1 second. Let me find the Bedrock update tweet, and bang, here it is. And actually, I want Dom here to discuss the update with me. So while we wait on him to come back, let's first real quick talk a little bit about this MetaDAO raise first while we wait on Dom. Let's look at this tweet here. Boom. Justin, protocols, the P2P protocols ICO on MetaDAO has raised 5.2 million so far, reaching 88% of its 6 million target within 2 days. Notably, 92% of the raise has been committed by just 10 wallets. The race has drawn criticism after alleged team-linked activity on Polymarket tied to the ICO outcomes. Responding to the backlash, the team said it won't comment on whether the account is affiliated, calling the bets early conviction rather than manipulation. So this tweet actually came out a few hours ago. Since then, there was an update from the team, and I wanted to cover this just about an hour ago. The team said, They basically said, 10 days before the raise, we went live. We placed bets that will hit the 6 million plus target. At that point, they had oral commitment from Multicoin Capital. No sign sheets, no guaranteed allocations, nothing binding. They were just betting on themselves, they said. He said, we told the market that we were raising over 6 mil, believe we could. The bet was our way of backing our word with our money at that moment. And so as you kind of go on in this tweet, he said, trading on an outcome you can influence erodes trust. We don't believe we were trading on a deal, but we recognize reasonable people can see it differently. We named the account P2P team deliberately to give a marketing signal of our presence to the community and reflect our intent to
Interesting
be
move.
transparent. So essentially, you have the P2P team looking to raise. They're betting on themselves. But notice this. Notice this comment here by the boy Ash, the homie. Shout out him, right? This was a tweet that came out. I forget when this tweet came out, but this wasn't they called study conviction, you retards.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. They've been moving kind of
rough
crazy
here. So this whole thing is just it's just pure bear market entertainment, in my opinion.
This is theater. This is honestly theater. Chill, can you hear me, by the way? Yo,
And I don't think I can hear you either, Josh.
Yo, Tom,
you got a hot
This is definitely a StreamYard thing where I can't hear both of you guys. Chat, who do you hear? You guys let me know.
Should I just remove
them? Yeah, just remove them. Kick them out. All right, sorry guys.
That's
Chill
enough,
was
buddy.
a bit of a loose cannon there. This is wild though. This P2P thing situation is a little bit wild. I don't think teams should be betting on Polymarket, whether they believe in themselves or not. I mean, you're trading on basically inside information.
It's not illegal.
It's not illegal. Right? Well, you're trading on inside. If you know commitments, right? You know the outcome that's going to be happening. I don't know. It's just my opinion. I just think it's like,
yeah. Well, so I guess also like the thing is, yes, they bet on themselves early before they had any commitments, but also like we didn't know they were going to go call around and phone for dollars, right? Like we didn't know how the conversations were going before this. Because if you look at some of the commitments here, look at this. Multicoin raised 3 million of this.
Wow.
Right. So Multicoin raised 3 million. DBA, which we saw made a public post, raised $500,000. Thea 350K, Moonrock 400K, so on and so forth. I mean, 550K here from Anagram. So like they have some big investors. Again, when you look at the numbers, 10 wallets really pushed it over the edge. So we got Chill back up. Chill, are you hearing us?
Guys, you're not gonna believe this.
Your headphones plugged in.
Dude, you guys are fine. I accidentally muted my laptop. I accidentally muted the volume, bro. And I'm like, why can't I hear you guys? And the chat is saying,
bro, Dom was like trying to get you to like check out certain charts, and you're just like, all right, God, you're like a train that was going off the tracks. All good. Your commentary was great, though. By the way. You're doing a good job. It's just
my bad, guys. My bad, guys.
Right.
We're back. We're locked in here. But yeah, comments on P2P. I want to hear you guys. I want to hear your take because this is complete.
I mean, look. Okay,
how much did they win? $5,000.
Well, so far, I think they've bet. Now again, we've seen that they've raised now 5 point something mil, and we can pull up the MetaDAO. If you guys have the MetaDAO raise numbers, we can pull that up. But they're like 5.4 mil, I think. Right, they're about to reach the 6 million target, which we don't typically see until the last day. If you guys know how MetaDAO raises go, right? So I'm looking at this, and I'm like, this thing could really go because now we know if they hit the 6 mil. And then 8, 10, 15, so on and so forth, everyone gets diluted. Now, they explained the other day that there are only certain marks where they're going to dilute holders, right? But again, not everyone knows that. So what we're going to see here during the last hour, I think, is, again, a run-up situation because it's going to get over. It's going to push through. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. We could see another, like, 50 mil, 100 mil ICO from the boys at MetaDAO.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the betting. The internal team's betting. You're already raising 6 mil. Like, just focus on your raise. This just like feels kind of insidery tradey-ish. Insider trading. You're winning money based on an outcome you know that's gonna happen or not, right? Like,
yeah. And I've seen this. I saw this tweet one time, and I have the raise up if we want to look at it, but they're at 5.6 right now. They only have a little bit to go. Like Dom said, towards the end is when people really like start to slam this thing. But yeah, I saw a tweet the other day that was talking about Polymarkets, where it said, or not even just Polymarket, but just prediction markets in general, that prediction markets are for insiders. We saw it when, there was some activity in Israel, and in the Middle East. We saw some bets being placed there with some of these geopolitical events. We even saw, and so it's like, this is almost validating that literally, if you have inside information, you can just trade.
Yeah.
You can trade on that.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
believe
like,
that's the case.
didn't
but-
that happen with Ranger Finance? Like now,
Yes.
I go back and question the Ranger Finance ICO a little bit,
Well,
right? Because
well-
you played those games. I want to know who's playing these games.
Even HuroPay. This gets tails all the time, right? After we saw these raises get crazy numbers, everyone started betting on it with crazy volume too, like millions in volume, seven figures plus in volume. Look, we saw HuroPay, which did not meet the 3 million minimum, jump from 1 mil to 2 mil in the last like minute or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. In the last 5 minutes, it jumped up a mil from like 1 or 2 wallets. So clearly that was someone trying to hit on their prediction market bet, and they knew they were going to get refunded. Wouldn't it have been funny though if like someone ports in a mil and someone else ports in a mil thinking they got to try to hit their bet on prediction markets, and all of a sudden the raise passes and now these guys are like not stuck in the token, but they have $1 million positions in a $6 million asset or something, right? That'd be kind of funny. This is going to go. I mean, this is hitting 6 mil probably by the end of the day, to be honest. And I'm really interested to see what happens here the last hour, because now that we're overcommitted, it's kind of okay. It's whale games. Everyone's going to try to fill as much of their position as possible. And so now if they're diluted down to only getting filled 50%, they're putting in double their commitment, right? And so that's how you quickly go from 6 to 12 to 24, so on and so forth, committed.
I would like to see MetaDAO make sure it clauses in these agreements that says, look, if you're raising from us, you're not placing bets on prediction markets.
I think
or
that's the
your
safest
treasury will
bet.
be liquidated, because it's just, again, it's a synthetic part of the process. And it's like, what game are we playing? Are we raising capital for teams, or are we playing prediction markets?
Now,
they
I don't like it. I don't like
They
this.
did say that MetaDAO
like
had zero in the tweet. They did say, MetaDAO had zero knowledge of their involvement in the bets. They said that they're going to be, all the proceeds will go to the treasury, the MetaDAO treasury, and then they'll be liquidating the positions and formally putting in place company policy on prediction market trading. So
they've
no matter
admitted to
how
it.
no matter how you look at it, number one, they literally came out and said, no, that was us. And we intentionally named it P2P team to be transparent. And they are acknowledging that, like we're saying on this stream, it feels a little insidery. It feels like it gives me that vibe. And it's obviously giving them that vibe, or it's giving them some sort of vibe that causes them to say, well, we need to now create company policy to around these things, and we have to.
Who did
now,
this
like,
tweet?
not do
Was
that.
this MetaDAO that did this tweet? When they
P2P.
say we, okay. I would
It's
like
funny.
MetaDAO to also come out and say that, in my opinion.
It's funny though, because I remember their original stance on this was like, we're not going to confirm or deny who made those bets. And it's just clearly P2P team links back to their like foundation and ERC wallet.
Yeah.
They're like, now we're not going to say if it was us or if it wasn't. So it's good to see they kind of just were like, all right, yeah.
Look,
it's
all right,
us.
we figured it out. I just don't want to see teams do this in the future, right? So
yeah.
Anyways,
look,
that's
honestly,
just
I don't
my
even hate.
thoughts.
I don't even hate the play, to be honest. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not super mad about it.
Look,
at all.
I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm
game
mad
is
about
game,
it,
profit
but
is profit.
No. There's no. I disagree. I think there is an ethical standard when you
No,
raise
absolutely. I'm just
capital
joking.
from people, that you have to hold yourself to some sort of ethics a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like
100%.
it brings up the question, what is prediction markets? Everyone already knows them as, even the founders of Polymarket and like Kalshi have come out and basically said, no, it's not gambling. It's when someone has an edge. It's to basically
Insider information,
right.
bro.
It's to
Dude,
get
it is
the real
what it
information
is
out there.
This is not you're not allowed to do this kind of stuff.
I
in
will say
traditional
this.
markets.
I will say this. Just like there was, retail euphoria in crypto in 2021, and a lot of the more experienced people in crypto, like they sold bags on the way up, like they made a ton of money, whereas like retail round trip, they didn't really have like a proper view of crypto and how to like have these like really good strategies to make and keep money. I think that same level of like just buy the top strategy is like, or that buy the top mentality from retail euphoria is actually coming and directed towards prediction markets now. So I think the edge that you can have in a prediction market is more so if you have more information on a situation because you're knowledgeable about it. Like Josh, when we first talked about the oil trade, you had 10 plus years of tracking oil or tracking geopolitical activity. And you said, no, look, this is where it's going. And we hit the 6X on oil on the prediction markets, right? So I think that was, but everyone was trying to bet on oil, but no one had any edge. No one had any information. But you did. And so in that way, there's an edge. So I think there is some cases where like on a prediction market, you can just know more than others. And everyone's just kind of being euphoric and just trying to lay a position based on a YouTube video that they watched. But I think if you have deeper knowledge on the topic, you can position, with more, I don't know, with more
traders gonna trade.
Precise. Yeah. That's it.
Look, it's ultimately it's peak comedy. Like I'm loving the cinema.
It's comedy. This is absolutely peak comedy.
Man, if you guys are there watching this back and forth live, monitoring the situation, it's hilarious just watching the stance change and like the people from the outside commenting. By the way, they just completely admitted to something highly illegal,
and drop the R too at the bottom of the post,
dude.
Yeah, wow.
That was pure comedy. That was pure comedy.
Now
study conviction, you retards.
It's funny, man. Sheldon. And honestly, I'm a fan of the retard word. I like the retard word. I think it's funny. But that being said, Sheldon, man, he's just going crazy because like half on one side, it's like, wait a minute, their numbers are actually really great in a super cool emerging market. Like the QR code thing is going crazy. If you know, you know. And then on the other hand, it's like, but he's on the timeline playing poly market games and calling people retards. Like, what are we doing? It's so funny though. So I don't know,
man. Shout out to my goat. Shout out to my goat. We're retard maxing out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's all we're doing. We're just retard maxing out here. I don't know. I think it reflects poorly on the team. Like there's a level of like ethics and maturity and decision making that but it's all bear market entertainment. All bear market
entertainment. Well, what do you think? Like, what do you think these VCs that just put $3 million into this raise are thinking when they see their founder just running around acting like this? And again, I think it's funny. Like, I'm not mad about it, but you want to present yourself as someone who's gonna steward money wisely and like be a good steward of this investment.
Think about you're the analyst at Multicoin Capital. You got talked into this investment and has to explain this to the investment council. Like, oh geez, this is gonna
rough.
Anyways, rough. And if MetaDAO is smart, I think they'll try and stamp this out. It's not good behavior. And we want to be a serious industry, guys. Like we want to attract serious capital.
I would want to think. I think profit. They've definitely, I mean, at this point, they've got to be thinking about these prediction markets because they've been a centric theme of every single raise.
Last two of them.
I just wanted to see if they updated anything, but they haven't. They haven't addressed this at all. I wonder if Profit has addressed it. Never a dull day in the internet financing industry.
There we go.
He's just enjoying the cinema with us, man. I love Profit.
Click on that. Click on the replies there. Is there anything good in the replies?
Let's see. We got 8-bit, a few others. Never a dull day for the futards.
Yeah.
Cool.
Futards, that's for sure.
So that's the first piece of news I wanted to talk about was that.
That was a good one, dude. Holy, what a segment that was. I can't believe that's cinema. All right.
The next piece of news that I wanted to talk about was the Bedrock. Let's just go straight to the Bedrock.
Wait. Oh yeah.
And then we got to talk about this meme scope Monday thing after
and bags. Because that's other people are coming up saying this is tiptoeing the line of securities. We got a lot of tiptoeing the lines of legalities going on today, which is always interesting.
So here's the big news that just came out from Bedrock Foundation just yesterday. I'll just go through the tweet. It says Bedrock Coins by Bedrock is officially out. Meteora and GVRN AI designed a legal framework for startups that can scale with a fully automated system. Via Bedrock, anyone can now permissionlessly launch a token, KYC, and incorporate a BVI entity with Bedrock Foundation as your shareholder. We've released more information about Bedrock, what to expect for both founders and participants. Read about Bedrock here. And then lastly, they say they basically just mentioned they're already incorporating. This is only for projects launching on Meteora and Solana, number one. Number two, they've already integrated with different launch pads to include Bags app, Startup Fund, and Collateralize, Collat. So Soju actually like tweeted about this and everything. So this is the big update that came out yesterday, boys. What are we first initial reaction before I want to live DD and like really deep dive into this for a little bit, but first reaction from you guys.
Yeah, well, we got to go on bedrockfoundation.org to, I think, read into it. I think how I'm understanding this is it's the same structure here. An SPV acquires equity. You now can buy shares of the SPV pro rata, and the assumption is that the SPV, which is owned by Bedrock, will make good on those shares if there ever is a liquidity event, or and they'll give you a liquid market to trade on and speculate on. Right? That's kind of where it is. Look, there's a lot of backlash, but like 100% in the right direction. And I had this conversation with Yakic earlier about this. And like, the truth is, Josh, I know you're passionate about this too. It's like, okay, we want securities. Like, we want to trade things with a financial upside for the sake of trading them. Like, we want securities. And in many cases, this is what we want. It's clearly just a regulatory barrier. So like, we're going to have a workaround. No one's going to be able to really deliver it in the way that we want to, where they can just say, hey, here's equity in the company, trade it. And if you win, you're lit. If you lose, you're dead. But I like the steps in the right direction, to be honest. I think where Rambo says bags over the line, because then you have to ask, okay, so Bedrock is the foundation. Now, Star, Bags, Collat are adopting this framework. Bags, I think, where they are stepping over the line, which is what Rambo's saying here, not my words, is their tone, right? They're calling it stocks, they're calling it equity, when I think that's what the SEC has an issue with. If it's a workaround for equity and you guys can tiptoe around it, it's perceived value, that's one thing. But actually saying it's equity, which is really what you're trying to get at, is a no-no, right? So it's like, we all believe it. We're all pretending it's equity. That's how we're trading it. But then we can't actually say that, right? We have to like tiptoe around it. And I think that's where Rambo's saying bags is over the line. Am I, Rambo, correct me if I'm wrong.
So just while we wait for the Rambo, the way Bags is framing the structure, Bedrock is a big issue. Yeah. So just for context, everyone, here's the Bags app announcement that they came out with. They said introducing stocks on Bags app. Now anyone can launch a company on-chain and register a business in seconds with a real verified ownership. When a company is launched, up to 30% of company stock, quote unquote, is reserved for holders. This creates a clear structure for companies to provide shareholder value, including IP rights, ownership, and more. This is legit just plain up securities, bro. Securities language right here.
I'm going back to it though. Game is game. This is what we want, right? Let's not hide it. This is what we want. They just can't say it, right? I mean, but yes, IP rights. But the thing is, you don't, I guess then what it goes back to is you as a holder don't actually get IP rights and ownership. The SPV does, right? The SPV does, which has restrictions and requirements, and you're now holding shares in that SPV. So like the framing is right.
So this is what we need to do right now. This is what we need to do. We need to look into Bedrock. And I wanted to do this live on stream because I wanted to react to it live on stream for the first time.
Top right corner.
So here's the Bedrock website, and let's just kind of read through real quick, because there's a few aspects to this. Even the GVRN AI, like I don't think people understand. This is all automated with AI, so there's that component with it. What is Bedrock? The Bedrock framework is permissionless, standard, founder-friendly legal framework. Legal infrastructure built to integrate with existing launch pads to address this problem, the token value problem. This is achieved by placing an independent party, Bedrock, with enforceable legal rights and a permanent seat on the cap table of every project that opts into Bedrock, while founders retain a minimum of 70% equity and full operational control. The foundation holds preference equity and a golden share to ensure that acquisitions, asset sales, and equity level events cannot proceed without engaging its rights as a shareholder. In practical terms, this means, and I'll also just blow this up a little bit for you guys so you can actually you can read it along with me. In practical terms, this means that a founder cannot sell the company, extract value through equity, or dispose of key assets without engaging the foundation's shareholder rights. The foundation's preference equity and golden share are embedded in the company's constitutional documents. They cannot be removed or overridden by the founder. So again, integrated into a launchpad, you can submit KYC. They can raise an amount. A target raise amount is achieved. Token graduates. If KYC is successful, the project's company is incorporated, aligned with the Bedrock framework. Upon successful incorporation and submission of relevant documentation, the project is Bedrock compliant. So it's all just legal infrastructure, all just legal. And I love it. I love Bedrock because it's just a plug and play, right? Like that was such a freaking like gigabrain move by the Meteora team. It's a plug and play infrastructure that literally every launchpad needs.
Just like their LP is too.
Look at this. Yep. For the purpose of enforcement, structural defense, and litigation support, the foundation maintains an enforcement fund of up to $2 million. So they aren't messing around. They're ready to come after people if people renege on these agreements.
In plain English, they have $2 million of lawyers and stuff on retainer ready to just go at your neck if you try to work the system and cheat your holders. Is basically what they're saying. Like,
and so they'll come after you in the event of fraud, misappropriation, or unauthorized value extraction. It will not intervene in the day-to-day operations of a project. It will take actions against a founder operating, nor will it take action against a founder operating in good faith. It just protects against bad actors. So
not against failure. No, that's the point, because that's where the line, that's where the line gets a little bit opaque, right? How do you really classify a company failing between a founder who has the resources, the ability to keep going and just like giving up, or, saying everything's not working and just kind of getting out of there, giving themselves a high salary? Of course, and this is just fraud in general. Like, this is how fraud is. You kind of have to go through the process of seeing if someone's acting in good faith or acting in bad faith, and it can be a little bit difficult. But I think generally we're in the right area.
Can you click equity and takeover mechanics on the left?
It's right here.
Oh, yeah.
It's right here.
All right, let's keep
I also wonder if decentralized way of doing this is the way to start it off, because I could see, we see thousands of launches on Pump Fund every day. If they have 500 people launch this, there's a majority of them that are just going to be bad actors and, exit. It's not always worth going after these people that exit scam for $1,000, right? Because it's going to cost them tens of thousands.
It's not for them. It's not for those type of tokens.
So let me ask you guys this question, because what launchpad are you guys most excited about seeing this integrated into? Because I feel like there's this like dual, you have the Bedrock Foundation that kind of holds the teams accountable in a real way, in a meaningful way, and they have money behind that to go after bad actors. On the token side, though, I feel like, I think Easy A actually is really nice. I was watching the demo day yesterday. It was solid.
This would have been like the golden piece for Believe. It's what everyone was asking for.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. And then Futardio, the new Futardio platform. I think that's also something.
Yeah, they're not gonna like that though.
No,
because it's completely different mechanisms, and like I think the core belief of the Futards or the MetaDAO people is we don't even want to be equity. Like, fundamentally, equity is flawed in this way. We want to have ownership over the token, and they're like two different things completely, like at a fundamental level.
This isn't a MetaDAO thing, anyways, because it's on chain, done in this way. But this is more like the Ralph guy, the Gastown guy, the GSDs of the world, where you take a bit of money, you're like, all right, I want to build a business around this. But like the Ralph guy just sold and dipped. He was out.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know if that would accompany or account for the kind of, in bad faith, but you could argue that Ralph isn't a failure. I mean, he still has open source software that he developed that's still successful.
No, not a
So
failure, just a
so
scammer.
maybe, yeah, and it's the same thing as like
Did he launch that token, or was that a community that launched the
no,
token
it was a
for him?
community
Right?
He took the
launch
fee,
it.
claimed the money.
It's the
No,
money
no, no.
though.
But a
It's-
claim doesn't mean that's the social contract between the market and the team of a, let's say, of a technology, the team behind of a technology. The social contract is broken. Just because I claim fees, I accepted a donation. That's how I viewed it. Like they accepted it.
Yeah, but I
But
think
the social contract on our side is because you accepted it, that means you're now in charge of it. We're like roping these people into a game that they're not even like know that they're a part of.
Well, I think where Ralph and Gastown went wrong is they could have done that and then never mentioned it, never talked about it, never said we were endorsing a token. I think where they went wrong is they said they were. One sec. Where they went wrong was I think they said, okay, we're going to use this token. I think explicitly the Ralph guy said we're never going to sell. Like explicitly said that to the Bags team, and within like the day, full stacked $250,000, right, or whatever it was. And so yes. There's no problem if someone makes a token if they did the same thing for me, if someone made a token for me, it ran up 100K in fees, I didn't want to deal with the community. I'd claim and I'd get the hell out of there. But I wouldn't talk about the token. I wouldn't say I'm never going to sell. I wouldn't say these things and then go against that. I think that's where it got a little sticky.
Go down to enforcement. It says it right there.
Real quick.
Go click enforcement. Right there. It's the second dot.
So,
unapproved value extraction.
If this doesn't say Soju's going to show up to your house with a big stick and just beat the snot out of you, it's not going to do it for me.
Founder fraud or bad faith, unapproved value extraction through acquisition, asset sale, a related party transaction, founder criminal activity, post incorporation discovery of criminal conduct materially affecting the project or shareholders, when enforcement does not activate, project failure, operational disagreements, the founder retains operational control, disagreements between founders and token holders are not enforcement matters, token price decline. This is a key point right here. I'm glad they included it.
Yeah.
This token price decline, the token price going down due to the free market does not constitute bad faith or criminal activity. One thing I wanted to just backtrack real quick. The acquiring the foundation's equity. I think this is a very key part of this that we're all wondering about. The Bedrock Foundation provides a standing invitation to treat for the preference equity held in the project company. Hold on. A standing invitation
to treat for the preference equity held in the project company. Man, lovely.
The foundation's preference equity can be acquired by any party that holds 100% of the project's token supply. Wow. Okay. This is structured. Okay. Yeah, because I guess
because there's a liquidity pool. I mean, you can never hold the entire 100% float.
This is structured as a sale and purchase agreement where the foundation retains discretion over whether to proceed with any individual transaction. The counterparty must also qualify as an accredited investor and pass KYC, AML, CTF checks. Token takeover. Acquiring 100% of a token supply on the open market is practically difficult. Bedrock includes a constitutional buyout mechanism built into each project's company governing documents. This mechanism is modeled on public company mandatory bid and takeover codes. Any person who can demonstrate ownership of 30% or more of the project's total token supply may trigger a mandatory buyout of the remaining tokens.
I do like this because now then I think what happens is the shares, from understanding it, get transferred from the foundation to whoever decides to do the buyout. And so if you actually do like a company and you can manage to sneak in 30% of supply, and we've seen this happen. There's like lots of stories of people, buying up supply on the open market and taking over companies and then executing
which is good.
Right.
Which is good.
Which is good.
And they could again, they could just say, look, the token holders don't need to even do anything. It might just be that the USDC just shows up pro rata in their wallet, and it's like,
And
all right, we're done.
Check this part. The acquirer surrenders their tokens and pays the calculated amount to purchase the remaining token supply. Upon completion, Bedrock transfers the preference equity held in the project entity to the acquirer. So
interesting.
This is like almost, yes, you're right. This almost means that tokens are equity, like, because that it's almost like not street SOAR, like when they with the debt agreement, like when someone has to buy out the company or what have you, or it gets acquired, they have to buy like 100% of the token supply, or the equivalent bought is equivalent to the circulating supply, I believe, right? Like that's kind of it kind of reminds me of SOAR is what I'm saying.
We're not legal experts here, guys, but I think we're just trying to understand like how this actually works. I like it. This is good. This is what we've been waiting for all along. Whether or not this is regulatory sound or not, that's over my head, not my pay grade.
No, but the thing is, we get to trade it, and like, it's not on us if someone gets in trouble.
on us.
They're taking the legal ramifications.
They're backing us with $2 million. I like it. That's a big stick.
I think that's a big stick. I like that. I like this whole structure though. And yes, you're right, Josh. Like, we're not legal experts. Just for context, guys, I waited until live on stream to read all of this and go through all of this because I wanted to read and react with you guys live. So I'm just now finding out all of this for the first time outside of just reading like the announcements themselves. But yeah, this is really awesome.
Steps in the right direction. Like, we want to see it. We want to see it. And so we need this kind of stuff. We absolutely do.
It's a plug and play legal framework for for any token, right? Like, we now have what we always wanted. Is my read on this.
Yeah,
we wanted tokens with value. We wanted some sort of structure to give these tokens value, some sort of mechanism to do that. We have it now.
What happens if the dev gets hired away? Like, do they have to now buy the company instead?
And again, dare I say it, it's not even about all the legal stuff behind it. It's about the general public, the holders, perceiving that they have protections. And if they're perceived to have protections, it'll trade more so, I think, accurately to what it should be valued at. Whereas now we're seeing completely skewed trades. Like, you see CPT again trading at like a 7 million fully diluted value when we know that company is probably worth 10x the amount. I think, I don't know, this just brings it closer. So
yeah,
people just need to perceive it as reality.
There's two other components. I don't want to, I know we've been on this for about like 15 minutes now, but there's two other components to this that I wanted to discuss with you guys. So that's the Bedrock, the Bedrock Foundation, right? Legal structure for any token. And basically basically legal backing for us, right? We can hold teams accountable now. I think that's enough to change the incentives. It changed the incentives for builders. It changed the incentives for holders, and that's enough to affect real change in the market. But as you can see, that's Bedrock. Meteora is one side. The other side for the legal framework is this GVRN AI. And so, real quick, I wanted to look into this with you guys because this is their website, or their Twitter page. And
do they have a token? What's the CA for this?
Come on. She's a little token fiend. Give me the upside.
So basically, from what I read about this, this is basically like all automated via AI. Like, this whole legal structure is all AI, and this is their website here. Trusted by teams behind 5 million plus in raises. GVRN handles all the boring admin and legal stuff, so you can focus on what you do best, building and scaling your company. And it looks like they have like some pretty big names.
Kepler Wallet, ZK Sync.
Yep, and Aether as well.
Yeah.
Jupiter,
Met. Okay.
So there's that, and so they basically say, hey, look, we handle the corporate setup side. They handle pre-TGE advisory. They have general counsel. So it's like it's this whole suite of legal products and
Wow,
services.
150
100
companies.
58 companies integrated, 150 plus teams, 100 mil in startup value. So obviously this isn't their first time doing this. And I wanted to get a sense of, because there's a part that basically talks about them using AI to get a lot of this done, right? Using AI to like scan documents and all these things. And I think that's what this tweet here kind of talks a little bit about.
Well, this is happening too. We saw that AI legal firm go and raise at an $8 billion valuation not long ago. I forget the name of it, but yeah, interesting.
So basically this they talked about this throughout their timeline, just using AI to speed up like the legal framework. Like they have this like in-house built AI that kind of scans all these documents and all that stuff.
I love these posts, how it's 4 posts making up one big one. That's pretty sick. We gotta start doing that, man.
This one?
No, look at the images. Look at the images.
Oh, the images. Got you. Yeah, yeah.
Each image is their own one, but it kind of makes up one.
It's like when you go to those Instagram profiles and it's like the
Yeah.
tiles.
That's it.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's that. I forget where the post is about this specifically. But essentially that's what it is. POV, you're a builder launching Web3 protocol. Here are 4 legal non-negotiables: legal entity, raise money, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, I can't find the post right now, but that's essentially what they said. They're using AI to kind of help with this legal structure that they're building, and that's the legal side of Bedrock. Okay, so
we got that?
I love it. I love it. I mean, AI is being used for everything else. So
I think there's still gotta be some human oversight for stuff like this.
Yeah, I think
Well,
there still is.
I think it's they're positioning themselves as an AI enabled law firm. Go to the website there. There's the team. Do you mind just checking out the team at the bottom of the page there before you clicked out? It showed some of the people. I think it had their X accounts too.
Meet the team.
Right there.
Head of growth.
Yeah, I see these penguin looking things. Let's see. Click on one of them.
Loading.
Let's see who we're dealing with here. Yeah. Oh.
Philosophy.
There we go.
Okay. Guy from Jupiter, apparently. I'm going to actually ask Grok as well. How is AI used in this business? And I'll see what that could pull up for us. But that's the first team member there. That's their CEO, co-founder. He is affiliated with Jupe. I'm not sure in what capacity.
Okay, but so we got the Bedrock understanding. Now, can we kind of backtrack into the bags? Let's just see the verbiage here used. I don't know. See if they're yeah, what's up? You think it's
the
not legal?
verbiage? The verbiage was rough on Bags App. I'm not even gonna lie. They literally said everything. Like, look at this. They literally said stocks. That means securities. They literally said launch a company. Okay, cool. Company stock. You know what I'm saying?
I'm here for it, baby.
Shareholder value. You know what I mean? Like they're going like heavy, bro. And I mean, cool. Like,
hey, look how viral that's going though. 181K views, 323 bookmarks.
You know it's going viral. I like it.
It catches people's attention. Hey,
yeah.
All all publicity is good publicity is what they
What's
say,
the
right?
difference between a Bedrock enabled token on Bags and a equity on the NASDAQ?
True.
Same thing. Same thing. Like it's just a ticker. It's just a unit of something, unit of ownership, right? Here we go.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna endorse it, but hey, I'm not a legal expert. Who knows?
Grok helped us kind of clarify the legal involvement. So their core business is human expert legal work, right? Um, they actively warn us against over relying on AI for critical legal infrastructure, um, AI outputs, all that good stuff. They're positioning GVRN markets itself as human alternative to AI generated legal work. They emphasize outcome driven, client specific advice based on actual Web3 deals. They position generic AI templates as risky shortcuts that serious founders should avoid for anything that touches real money regulation or liability. In
Agreed.
short, AI is not a core part of how they deliver services to clients. They rely on experienced lawyers and tailored expertise instead. They use the conversation around AI as a marketing differentiator. Oh, okay. Okay. Educating founders on why cheap, fast AI legal output is often a false economy in Web3. Okay, cool.
Makes
So,
sense.
okay, I thought that's my bad. I thought I read that, but maybe that was just like a part of their marketing push. But that's the legal side. We got the accountability side. We see the sort of like wording here used by Bags. The last thing I want to talk about this, and I'm so sorry. We've spent a lot of time.
No,
on
this is good. I think we'll
good.
look back on this conversation, and it was the moment that some stuff started to happen.
We can talk about it as long as there's stuff to talk about. It's interesting. I mean,
So you have the legal side of it. You have the integration with launch pads. You have basically companies that are being built right now. They actually in Soju's post, he mentions altitude. And we can even like look at the Soju post if you guys want. But the Soju post basically said, hey, look, you should use Bedrock for all of your legal stuff. But then if you're using Bedrock, you might as well use this thing called altitude. And I'm like, what's altitude? And so I looked into it, and basically it's not a neobank. Again, I wanted to look into this all with you guys, but it's like a Swift alternative. So they basically outlined this problem with like moving money, how banks have to spend so much, yada yada. We typically know a lot about that. They said stable coins typically help. And essentially what they're going to do is they're using stable coins to get money to business accounts and employees worldwide in their native currency. They use stable coins as rails to get from one place to another, and then it auto converts in the local currency. So as you can see now, it goes from crypto wallet off ramp to another feed to banks to Swift to then a counterparty bank. And now they just kind of, erase the middleman, and it goes from one to the other. But it's like institutional grade infrastructure is what they're pitching this as. And they've already directly integrated with Swift. They have access to 200 countries, 11,000 banks. And all you need is just one kind of banking infrastructure to essentially power a Web3 business. So Bedrock is basically saying, hey, come to us. We have the legal framework. And as a holder, we can hold teams accountable. And then we also have banking infrastructure on the back end. So if you, as a team, you have Web3 teams are usually worldwide, we can then send your money from one place to another, all in from one platform, and you're good to go.
Awesome. This is really, really nice. I like this a lot.
I think the crux of this entire conversation is just like people came to Meteora for the plug and play launchpad. Hey, I can spin up a launchpad, design liquidity, all that stuff seamlessly and easily. And like the only real mode, I guess, is having a great pipeline and people to launch. Just like that, now they can just plug this into their launchpad. Yeah. And if you have a great pipeline and people are willing to do this, like it's kind of setting a new standard.
Like
it's really
low
easy.
key, bro. Low key. We run a stablecoin first business here. Obviously, we're a crypto native company. We do payments. I pay people in stablecoins. I had to invoice someone in US dollars with my traditional bank, and I had no clue what I was doing. I'm like getting transit numbers, bank number, account number, like send it over. It's just hate it. Just address, send USDC. Like it's just so much easier.
We've become like pampered, dude, with how easy
we're pampered with how easy crypto is. Like I'm like all in. I'm like, this is a great way to run a business. Crypto is the way to do it.
And it's on chain. It's all
It's
like
on-chain.
there, transparent.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't want like people to know that kind of stuff. Like, I still want it to be private, but I think this is good just because it helps you run a business. So these are building blocks. These are the foundational pieces.
Yeah, I think maybe even if we don't see a meaningful impact right now, it's just to have this there when people start spinning up
Yep.
launch pads, it's just there as a natural integration. And I think the tail end of it is meaningful. Really
Yep.
cool. Really, really great stuff. Definitely
It's
steps in the right direction.
it's so crazy because now like internet capital markets used to be like this, like has evolved into this like meme phrase that a lot of people say or what have you, or it might even like give people a bad taste in their mouth because of, you know,
Oh,
Pasternak
that
and
believe thing.
yeah. And I feel like now like Meteora has now kind of redefined like what internet capital markets is, how founders can build within that space, and then how token holders can come in and confidently, you know, allocate capital. And I
Yeah.
think that's the most important thing. They're now become the foundational layer for any meaningful token that will launch on Solana. You have on one side the launchpad infrastructure. Anyone can come build on Meteora. You then have the legal framework through Bedrock, and then you even have Altitude for your banking services. And it's almost just like you come to Meteora and it's end-to-end support, and you have the LP army backing you as well. So it's
And you got
man,
MCG covering you. Like, it's
you know,
perfect, bro.
end to end, bro, end to
End to
end
end. No, all right, guys.
distribution.
Look, I love this. And look, we're sponsored and supported by Meteora, but at the end of the day, this is the right stuff to do. This is the right things to be working on. And I love this.
Well,
This is
and
great.
it's so nice too because you have people like Sora and Street, and I'm not saying that they would prefer this structure, but I'm just saying instead of all this time spent on like innovating around legal and trying to jump through
Yeah.
loopholes and talking to the SEC, like now
There's
someone
no
can kind of just
value in
like,
that layer. That layer is a valueless layer, really. If you can make this really easy, then the launch pads, all they have to focus on is like their launch mechanics, marketing, how they have traders on their platform and work with traders, how good their app UI and UX is, how much content they create. Absolutely love it.
can we actually look into Met? Because let's look at the Met chart because I want to think through the tail end effects with it. It's trading
Shout
at,
out. Sorry, who was that? Let's just
Ave.
make sure you
It's
get
Ave.
Oh, hey Ave, how's it going over on YouTube? Love it.
This is trading at a 70 million market cap. Okay. I think they have more balance on their books right now than 70 mil. And like, let's think about the implications of this. Okay. If Meteor has designed a system that can plug into launch pads to make your token equity adjacent, do we think they would maybe ever give up some sort of equity in their own token for it? Is that the
Look,
craziest thing, guys? Do we think that they would build something and pioneer something and then like just not even like practice what they preach? You know, I don't know. I think the team is very thoughtful about what they're going to do. They mentioned they're interested in these models. They said they're interested in SOAR. I think Soju specifically said that in one of his tweets. If you go back and find, he said SOAR is kind of leading the race in like our interest for Meteora, specifically the Met token. And he said, we're adding Met integrations for like referrals with LP. So they're trying to do things around it. I think this is a pure factor of the bear market. And so when I see Meteora at 70 million, and I think back to PK Day when Believe went to 300 million, MetaDAO built on top of Meteora at 150 million. I'm not sure exactly what it's at right now, but like, how is the infrastructure powering so much of this stuff? And then LPing, which did billions, $100 billion plus in volume last year. And then the token's trading at 70 mil, even if the token has like no utility. I just like, and look, right now I'm pie in the face right now, boys. I'll be the first to say it. I've been bidding up Meteora since 110 mil, right? So pie in the face down 30%, but ultimately convicted that if you sit on this long enough, if you can be here for the tail end, and when the market comes back, certainly volume will be flowing through Meteora. 70 mil just feels ridiculous,
All right,
guys.
I gotta pull up the screen notes real quick from our last chat with Meteor because I have the specific numbers. So keep that sharing there. But I am just gonna toggle to this screen here. Okay, net asset value as of this last update. Where was it? 11 cents. So almost 12 cents, 11.5 cents, 11.6 cents in net asset value per token. So what do we have?
We're there.
14. We're there. Like they do 23 cents, 23.4 cents in just cash flow per float token. So guys, yeah.
This is crazy.
And even if you
This is
take
crazy.
FDV, right, there's 40%, 50% out of circulation. For the next, I think, 6 years, they have 10% being released, right? Or roughly that. So emission is not terrible, but even if you take the fully diluted value, 140 million,
Yeah.
still. Again, it's just a timing thing, right? Like time in the market is oftentimes better than time in the market, because if you believe it's going to come back, a lot of these things will, reprice rapidly. And we know Meteora
yeah,
is one of
I
those
mean,
things.
I think you just see, and this is, I don't know if this is going to happen or not, but if someone comes in here, they're just going to like bid it in one candle and try and scoop it as fast as possible. Like $5 million into a company that generated $1 billion something in revenue, 60 million in profits on that. Like some fund to put $5 million into that would not be absurd.
No. Well, and again, like Meteor is one of those things that heavily moves with the market, right? When there's a lot of volume in the market, Meteor is gonna get a lot, like a chunk of that, right? So if the market's good, it just amplifies the movement. It's almost like a barometer, just like we say, Farcoin's a barometer on like risk on. This is almost a barometer on just like on-chain activity.
Yeah,
if on-chain activity's
well,
high,
look 5% on the day. Look at the right there. Everything is red. Everything's down 5%. Meteor is up 5%. Okay, can we go on a lower time frame here, like on an hourly maybe? Just I don't know if some of these announcements have already impacted.
Yeah, they have.
PA a little bit. So this is 30-minute. Yeah, definitely, off the bottom a little bit.
But again, I think it's a tail end effect. Just what makes Pump Fund so profitable, still making $1 million today, is the fact that they've had so many launches in the past, and they have so many launches coming through the pipeline that they're getting they're making $1 million in fees a day still. And I think that happens. It takes time. So the more people that adopt this, this structure, that use Meteora as infrastructure for launch pads, that use the Bedrock for their launch pads, you get 10 of these launch pads, all people with big pipelines, and 3 good launches here, 5 good launches here, 1 good launch here. Meteor is keeping 0.6% of all those fees, right? I believe is a number. So
Yeah,
whatever.
I think, like you said, tail end effect, right? Like we saw the tail end effect of Pump Fund, liquidity fragmentation and all the grifting, the serial deployers, the non-profitable traders at 96%. We saw the tail end effects, but we couldn't, like, if you were to say that's where we would end up, like maybe a lot of people wouldn't have believed you when Pump Fund first launched, right? And at first, like memes were first like popping off and stuff like that. But I think, when you compare that to Meteora, we're in we're like not a bottom of a bear market, but we're in a bear market. Not a lot of people are paying attention. This is a lot of people are going to miss this announcement. We don't miss it because we're actually paying attention. We're staying engaged with the market, but a lot of people will inevitably miss this. This isn't going to get priced in properly until, like Dom just said, the tail end effects are felt. Launch pads are starting to spin up. New tokens are starting to launch, but this time it's like all integrated with Bedrock. It's all literally on-chain companies with end-to-end support from all built on top of Meteora, and that's going to get priced in very, very, very quickly when the market kind of wakes up to what's happening. But yeah.
Yep. We can digress off of that. I know we have some more stuff to cover, but I actually did want to kind of cover traditional markets real quick, because those are doing some interesting things, and I'll keep it quick for you guys because I know we're a crypto show here and we don't want to get carried away. But let me page over here and we can talk about the Meme Scope Monday chill and get your thoughts on that. But real quick, so we saw Bitcoin. Chill gave his full thesis analysis. Look at the NASDAQ completely rolling over. We were talking about this up here, right? Remember, the Dow Jones has already kind of led, right? Dow Jones is already really leading in terms of like it's moved to the downside. And I think we were right here just kind of rolling over. We're like, guys, NASDAQ does not look good. And it's rolling over fast. And it almost looks like, I don't know, for all this time through 2020, we've just kind of been straight up. It feels like this is maybe reset period where it starts getting nasty. And so, And I say this all to say, I think are going to have some very good opportunities in software companies, in hardware companies, in energy companies. You're going to have some really, really good opportunities. And so that's why I say this, right? NASDAQ rolling over. S&P also rolling over. Look, these are weekly candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bearish weekly candles. NASDAQ, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bearish weekly candles. Dow Jones, hideous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. And this looks like, I mean, this is starting to form the Andes Mountain schematic here, right? The Andes Mountain schematic here. It just looks like you climbed up and we're peaking. It just looks like it's going to do the opposite. Yeah, coming down
escalator
fast.
Up, elevator down.
Right. Bulls take the stairs, bears jump out the window. So we're seeing that. Gold, silver, whatever. So I digress on that, but I want to now
oil.
Excuse me. Sorry. I'm gonna get spanked if I skip over oil. Yeah, oil. Josh, I will just not even speak here.
Oil. There's nothing to say. Just like this is, I think I said this also too a couple of weeks ago. Was you can try and talk it down, but you can't move molecules. And here we go. So yikes! Yikes! Philippines, the Philippines, people are walking to work, guys. Like I my wife's from the Philippines. She's showing me video of people in Manila, Metro Manila, walking to work. I saw something about Australia is starting to run out of fuel at their fuel stations, and they only have 2 refineries in the country. Now we're starting to get to it's impacting everyday lives, like beyond gas prices. Like, oh, this gas station doesn't even have gas. And so now you start to get the panic. So the panic is starting to set in.
Well, and I think, Josh, what you even saw here was like, okay, we spiked up to 120 kind of. The United States did what they did to calm markets down. And this was kind of like, the market's repricing very, very quickly. And it seems like this has been the reset. And now it's like reality sinking in. It's not happening. It's not happening as fast as we thought. And now it's just like we've kind of paved the way to go to those ridiculous oil numbers that no one wants to see, but you've been predicting for a while.
Yeah, we'll see. It didn't happen. There's still how many days left in March? 1, 2, 3. So we got 2 trading days next week to the 31st. I don't know. This could open really high on Monday.
Well, there was another
the panic. The panic could start to set in here, but I'm not saying it's going to hit 150, guys. I actually have no idea, but I mean, next week it could probably at some point if the panic really sets in.
We did see another oil tanker bombed. And of course, I could go on forever about this. Trump said we got a gift. He said we got 6 ships through, gift from Iran. Whatever. Another tanker's been bombed. Either way. I'll go to the stocks now if we're good. But I say this because I think NVIDIA is going to give Jenny opportunity. It's up 60% in terms of revenue, over the last year or whatever. I'm not sure of the exact numbers, but the revenue is doing really, really good. Like we had a conversation today, Josh and I, with a friend of the show. And basically he was saying, look, the cost of compute, if you're buying Claude Code's $200 account, they're actually giving you $5,000 of compute to use. So they're actually taking a loss to acquire customers. It's that cost of acquisition here. And so that being said, it's so expensive to get all this compute, and NVIDIA is like naturally the number one person that's going to innovate and continue to bank on this stuff. So I think
on that, so is it cost to compute? I understand that side of it, but it's also like you want to acquire as many customers as early as possible because they're improving your models for you basically. And it's kind of a race to get ahead.
Part of it.
If you don't race today, take, heavily subsidize it. You won't win the big prize tomorrow or in, a year from now.
Well, I mean, even OpenAI, these big AI labs and companies are operating at losses. Like they're big loss leaders,
but huge losses.
It's gotta, it's kind of gotta happen. So I think NVIDIA, if we come down on NVIDIA, guys, like, of course, and we're talking about the biggest company in the world. So it's not like I'm some quant making the trade on some like thing that no one else is seeing. But generally, like if you want a pretty, I think, safe coded bet, NVIDIA is probably your chance. If you get much lower into like the sub 140 range, I would start that DCA. And if you get to the 120, if you're blessed enough to get below 120, I would start, putting meaningful size in that. Same with Tesla. This is hardware. Okay. And we know hardware's got a moat. Software is a bit more scary because distribution's kind of the moat. Now, since software is so easy to build in a lot of cases. Hardware, however, does not have that issue. I think Tesla kind of still has that hardware edge. It's got that Elon Musk edge. They're innovating in so many directions now with SpaceX and, XAI. There's a lot of the stuff is going to flow back into Tesla in terms of like technological advancement. I think sub 340 Tesla becomes a pretty interesting bid. And especially if you get down here at the lower part of this leg at 250, I was buying Tesla back here at about 140 back in the day. So my conviction kind of stands on that. And then you guys know I love Robinhood. I think this one continues to roll over because it's software, but I do continue to think this is kind of the play in terms of the future of investing. So I think we actually do see a $50 Robinhood, and I'm buying that. I'm buying that.
Heard OpenAI is launching on Bex.
Rumor has it, man. Their stock model is just so innovative. No, but and that's all. And then Circle as well, I think, is something that's going to do really well off the stablecoin rails and continue to, even if we don't pass some of the bills that this pump was predicated on, I think this still does well. So watching it, not sure where I invest in that, but sorry, had to cover macro real quick. We'll get back on to regularly scheduled show. Hopefully I didn't bore you guys too much. Chill, you want to talk about that meme scope Monday? Oh, and so Chill's tuned out. I did literally bore Chill to sleep.
No, he's his computer is muted or
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
I was on mute. I'm like no one's. I was snoring into the microphone.
In reality, this is what happened here. Oh, his computer's off. I was on mute. A great segment, Dom.
Yeah.
Great segment, Dom.
And what was your favorite part of that segment?
No, the circle part, to be honest. I was just talking with my my best friend the other day about Circle, actually.
Yeah, I think it's a great bet on stablecoin rails.
Yeah. Honestly, bro, like I actually like the stock segment. Like it, because I've been a big proponent of, if we have access to it, why not trade it? We got access to it, like why not? Like we got X stocks, we had them on yesterday. We have access to like some, to better assets. Like why not? Like what are we gonna do? Like trade like sub 50K and 1v1 somebody at 25K market cap on chain? Like or are we gonna buy like something that's getting pushed through regulation? Like,
hey, yeah, that's right. If your favorite live stream show is talking about 50K toppers and not talking about a little bit about some equities on it, change the channel.
Can we actually just like talk a little bit about Onchain? I got some stuff I want to cover with that.
I'm waiting for the Onchain segment.
Okay. All right, guys. So first off, I just want to talk about the I just want to talk about the state of Onchain. Okay, I want to talk about the state of Onchain. I put out a tweet just the other day, and I basically said, look, Onchain is cooked, bro. Like we are done for. And let me bring up that tweet real quick so I can just go through that with you guys, because I think it's very important for us to just kind of get a lay of where we are in the stream of time. And here is the tweet.
And I'll talk about this later, man. But I got a bone to pick with X, bro.
Whoa.
I'm not gonna get started on that now. We're about to go crazy, but they're gonna hear it from me. Elon's gonna hear it from me. Actually, forget what I just said about Tesla, man. I'm so mad about X and them making me pay $50 to get X Pro. I'm never investing.
I'm sorry. I'm not paying for X Pro. I'm not paying that for X Pro. I'm sorry. I'm good. I was paying what?
Too cheap.
I know. Actually, I probably will end up paying it. There's a good likelihood by next week I'm paying $50 for X. Just because
Netflix prices are going up. I'm good.
What kind of world, bro? I remember a world where you used to stand on ad-free streaming platforms and paying no more than, $10, $15. $9. Yeah, dude. Now Netflix is raising it. X, I got ads. I'm paying for X and I got ads in my feed. Are we kidding me? What kind of world? Sorry, go back on chain.
No, you're good. You're good. Chat, let me know what you guys are looking at right now. Let me know how you're positioning on chain. But this is like a part of the show that I wanted to touch on here, just like how to position ourselves on chain. Right now, like trading is cooked, bro. Like I said it in this tweet. Basically, like earlier this week, we saw a video of someone glorifying a big name in crypto, a guy that's a serial deployer, a copy trader, a copy trade farmer, and literally he just launches and rugs tokens repeatedly, and he literally posts those P&Ls. It's very public documented information. And that's what we're glorifying, right? That's what we're glorifying. So when someone asks those people, "Oh, how'd you make it in crypto?" and they say, "Yeah, I just rug and deploy tokens." If they're profitable, scammers are just gonna kind of copy that playbook. And that creates this dynamic of there's more deployers than there are traders. And we touched on this earlier this week, where we saw that launch pads are making millions of dollars from people PvPing, launching and rugging, vamping tokens, farming. Like, launch pads are making money off that. They're farming a stupid amount of fees off of that activity. So they're incentivized to push that culture. And what happens is, like, all the little liquidity that's left is just spread out across a ton of tokens. And when you combine that on-chain environment with a bear market, like, a lot of just active trading opportunities disappear. And I saw it in my comment section a few times. Like, earlier this week, someone said skill issue, or someone said, "No, bro, you just got to lock in." And it's like, no, it okay. Could there be a slight skill issue? Perhaps. Um, Not like I'm not the number one trader out there, but if 96% of people are not profitable, you know, and likely, a good chunk of the people that are profitable are insiders, they're deployers, they're people that, like, have information that is that retail doesn't have access to. Then, maybe out of the people that are profitable, most are scammers, but maybe, like, we got a handful of, like, elite traders that are, like, super disciplined, but that probably requires like 16, 18, maybe even 20 hours of daily screen time. So what's the better R&R? Accumulate some good assets that you're long-term bullish on, or like spend, like, 20 hours um a day on screen looking at charts. And even though this is a bear market, like, no, bro, like, accumulate some assets, go spend some time with your family, go live life, like, live real life. And I think that's the environment that we've been in on chain for, like, a very, very long time. And a lot of people in the comments here, the boy KG, he agreed with me. Bernie, he agreed with me. HFK, he been pushing street heavy, but yes, street. Contra, chat of the show.
Notice no like there. Notice
Oh.
Chill skipped the like on. What you got against Street, bro?
Nah,
Trying to bring Maya up?
Nah, chill.
Yo, and I want to keep your thought going, but we should host a debate with Maya, with Tom, and just have them debate the bedrock structure, the source structure, the street structure. I don't know if they'd want to do that, but I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Bring back the Bobby, Avi, and Stig debate.
Oof.
Oh my
That
gosh.
was
We got to do that. We got to look for an opportunity to do that.
That was the greatest.
Yeah, I don't think the Bags guys would come on, to be honest, so they wouldn't be able to defend themselves. Sorry, keep going, Chill. I'm interrupting like a bad boy.
Yo, this guy. No, you're good. And just to kind of cover this as well, Dread here, shout out to homie Dread. He said we need a time-based capitulation for a full reset. And this is a very, like, make sure that you guys aren't trapped in this mindset. We may never get a full reset because, if something runs on chain, like, we have one runner, like, whether it's, the punch, or whether it's the bags, Ralph, or Gastown, or whatever. Like, something runs, and it almost gives traders, or like degens with a gambling addiction, is what I say. It gives them a reason to be bullish. It gives them a reason to say, no, it's justified. There was some runners. That means all we have to do is lock in. And I posted a tweet today, like, of a DM that I received. Saw you on the X community, man. Usually run up 1 million cooks. 1 million market cap cooks is what he says. But we looking to run something to 5-10 mil market cap. I'm like, are we serious? So I literally say, if you're wondering why nothing ever makes it past 1 to 5 mil, this is why. And that's well documented because only 0.001% of tokens launched in March ever made it past 5 mil market cap, right? Like, and for the first 2 weeks in March, no token made it past 5 million market cap. So it's just crazy to see
What's
that. Like,
the CA? What's the CA on this?
Yeah, wait a minute.
I'll
So this
DM
is running up to 1 million?
No way.
The funny part
All
about
the
that,
way to
none of
1
this would
mil?
ever run. Like, whatever they're gonna show, whatever CTO they're doing, no way it
Yeah,
gets past like
it's good.
40K.
Literally.
That I
And
was
this
trying to
is
prove a point, though. I was trying to prove a point.
no. Like I can't believe like this is the on-chain environment that we're trading. But the guy YX here, he says you shouldn't need to feel bad for missing out on the rare 50 to 200 mil runners because most of these are optics. PSYOP by launch pads to keep you gambling and FOMOing into new pairs to farm fees. And the 50 mil runners today means nothing with the way LPs are right now. Take a look at Mitchie's LP before and after migration of pump swap. Okay, no need to worry about that. But that's literally it's all PSYOP. It's all a PSYOP, you know, to get you to FOMO and gamble on new pairs. But the reality is you don't have to trade. And that's what I said in the post, bro. Literally, you don't have to trade. Just because you're here, just because you're on CT doesn't mean you have to be clicking buy and sell every single day. And even today, we haven't talked about a single token. We haven't talked about a single token today, you know, but we will. Real quick, if you guys want, I could run through just a couple setups and then we can wrap it. I don't know how you guys are feeling.
Give some setups. You got to give the people something on Friday. This is
Gotcha.
more like a casual Friday, guys. If you guys aren't having a beer right now,
Yeah.
I mean, do you guys want to have a beer? I might even go grab a beer.
I'll go grab a beer for the.
I'm gonna go grab a
For
beer
the love
too.
of the game, I'm gonna go grab a beer with Josh.
Chill, you can start, but I'm gonna go get a beer.
Crack a cold one with the boys. Run it, homies. Go ahead, run it. So for the first on-chain take here, talking about Base, I saw a really great tweet that kind of encapsulated all of my thoughts around Base. The AI agent meta on Base is resetting, and here's why. Revenue was highly over-leveraged. Holders spoke out in favor of token buybacks to boost price action. Project leaders spoke out basically against it, saying, hey, look, we're going to use that for growth of the project, not to pump a token. And so that kind of created this disparity between token holders and project devs, if you will. And that wasn't well received, right? Like the market obviously isn't interested in these tokens because they don't know what they're getting exposure to. Now, if you say, hey, like revenue goes to buybacks, that's a clean, it's not an all-in-one fix. It's not a permanent fix to the problem, but it is at least a utility that the market is bullish on, that the market will accept as being bullish. So and that kind of goes to this, it kind of goes to this article that kind of talked about how buybacks are basically like they're not good. They analyzed 6 token buyback programs, and they went through things like Jupiter, Pump Fund. They went through all these. Yo, crack a cold one with the boys. Ching, cheers. Clink, cheers.
Cheers. Now I don't know how to get your screen back.
That's crazy. Abe says market is bad. Now we drinking our sorrows away. LOL. Cheers, boys.
Cheers. what if you're drinking something, let me know. I got a Miller High Life right here. Just something
solid.
Like, you know. Sorry,
nice
Chill,
little work. No, you're good. But basically, like buybacks aren't the be all end all. They're not a good fix for tokens, and that's well documented. Deployer kind of spoke out against that as well. But this article here goes through DYDX. It goes through Jupiter. That went minus 90%. DYDX went minus 88%, I believe. It talked about Clanker. Clanker, literally, like you see this pump and retracement here. Even though it had buybacks. The 2 successful ones were Hype and Ave, but even Hype had a huge correction. Not Ave, Ave. Even Hype had a huge correction, and Ave, you know, didn't. It wasn't really like something that was due to buybacks. And we can even reference Pump Fund. They have like bought back 30% of their supply, and that chart does not look good.
Yo,
No
where's that
way.
Woodford Reserve?
Nice little Woodford Reserve. I
Oh,
see,
yo,
boy.
Woodford
Should we rip
Reserve is
some?
great. I actually love that. Yo, cheers, bro. Cheers. Boom.
Cheers.
I might
Here,
have
got
to.
you.
I might have to go. I might have to go grab mine, bro. I might have to go grab mine.
And a
But-
pint. Oh, this guy's got pints and Woodford going.
Just some water to push it
no,
down.
That's are you hitting the course after? That's a fairway beer right there.
Oh, dude, I'll rip through 1 million of these on the course. All right,
But
now we're
that's it,
talking.
boys. That's the on-chain environment that we're in right now. That's like, some context around buybacks and around base. So just as we're looking at these charts, that's probably something to keep in mind. Things that I'm paying attention to, takeover here, back in the range, holding really well. It's a new DeFi primitive. It's more of a long-term play. And I would say anything that you're buying on base is probably going to be more so just a buy and hold and accumulate over time.
I saw a game say on takeover that like Dev missed some sort of shipping deadline on this.
Yes.
Any update on that?
Let me see. Let me check. So there was a delay from what I remember, but I don't think it wasn't a thesis breaking delay. It was just more so like disappointment, right? Like you obviously want this token to perform, and by delaying it, it's not like that's going to be well received by the market. But if you look at the takeover site, like, I mean, they're actively tweeting, they're actively building. And then I think this next update, look out for a write-up from me as far as the implications for this next update. I feel like that's more bullish than a delay. So yeah, Daddy Duster, been a busy week, wanted to drop in and say GMCG to the gang. GMCG, homie. Good stuff. Good stuff. Ave, how long did Pendle take to hit a bill? Take over Slow Cook? Yes. Pendle was the last new DeFi primitive that I faded because I did not take the time to understand it. And because of that, it went from like sub 10 mil market cap to like literally billions. And that could have been a massive trade for me. So I think something similar could be said here of takeover. So I'm just gonna accumulate, man.
So wait, okay, maybe I missed it. What's if you could give me a clean clip thesis for the Trojan sponsored segment here? What would that be? What is takeover?
Okay, so takeover is a way of tokenizing your trading fees. So LPs, they create an LP on a DEX. They then get trading fees from that. They can then tokenize the access to those trading fees through takeover. Takeover has 100 grid spots, and each grid spot represents 1% of the trading fees generated. So a user can now buy access to those trading fees by buying these grid spots, right? But the thing here is the person that creates the grid gets generated fees from the buy and sells of these grid spots. Additionally, revenue from takeover is also generated through this buying and selling of access to trading fees. They've already bought back 10% of the token supply so far just with that. And so you have 100 spots that represent 1% of trading fees each. Users can buy these spots, but also another user can buy your spot. So if they pay more than you, they can buy they can take over your spot. So it's almost this like sort of like bidding wars that happen with all these grid spots. And you have to be basically you have to be the biggest buyer essentially on this grid. And the key unlock here that I'll be writing about a little bit more is the expansion to all liquidity pools. Right now I think it's there's some limited access to certain liquidity pools, but now they're going to expand it to all liquidity positions on Aerodrome, on Uniswap. And I think that's going to be a major unlock because you can essentially, as an LP, again, tokenized access to trading, to the trading fees, give that out to the market, and it's a secondary market for trading fees. And now you accrue value. Imagine being the pump fund of trading fees where you can tokenize your trading fees and you accrue value from all that activity. And so if there's a popular token, when Pendle was going crazy, you can tokenize your LP there, right? And and tokenize it through takeover. So again, new liquidity / DeFi primitive. I'll be doing a much broader.
Does it actually work? Like, is it in real?
Yeah, no, it works.
Practice.
It works.
It actually does work. Okay.
Yeah, 10% of the token supply was already bought back from the fees generated. And so like it actually it works. It's just a matter of now expanding that to the broader EVM ecosystem, and then perhaps even beyond that to like non-EVM chains. It's like DLMM, right? It's like DLMM. It started on Meteora on Solana, and it's still there. But it like, imagine if the Meteora came out tomorrow and said, yeah, you can DLMM anywhere. That's going to be like a huge unlock for the LP army, right? But yeah, Daddy Duster, that's dope. Tokenized products could do something similar and provide rev royalty share via locations like zip codes, cities, some true ownership. Yeah, literally. It's literally like buying real estate on chain, low key. Literally like buying real estate on chain. So that's takeover. I really love that setup there, and I'll probably be accumulating that longer term. Another one that's good to accumulate for my portfolio that I'll be accumulating is Repo. We talked about them the other day. They got a major investment from a almost 7-figure VC, Bolts Capital.
Eight figure.
Oh, I'm sorry, 8-figure. 8 to 9 figure VC. Yes, apologies. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I get that right.
Eight figure. It was an 8-figure line of credit. A line of credit. So I guess it's kind of one of these things where they can draw down off that as they need to operate it, and they collateralize that, I guess, with the tokens itself. So
and the VC that they're raising from Bolts Capital, they are a 9-figure fund. So and there's been like a lot of like proof of concept with this demand for the token, relocking the token. That rate is at like 70+%. Users are getting rewards in repo, but they're choosing to relock all of their repo to continue to interact with the protocol. So obviously, users are like very sticky for users. So repo is another one that I'll be accumulating. I like Nook, but I hate the price action here. It looks really tough. Everything is puking here. That's crazy. Everything is puking here. Kelly Claude is puking.
Kelly.
Felix is puking, right? Robot Money just had like some catalyst. They partnered with someone, so the market really liked that. But I wouldn't be surprised.
If you were on the show on Wednesday, you knew this partnership announcement was coming, by the way.
Yep.
Alpha here. Don't even sweat it, boys. Got you. Right here. Lex, I'll even take it over here, boys. Lex says, thrilled to partner with Peak on building the Robot Money agent, a future-looking creative team that understands the future and has been building it for many years. So here's the thread Peak gave on the whole sitch, if you guys want the scoop. I'm probably not going to read through the whole thing, but here's the, just the general idea for you. Robot Money Agent is here to maximize your robot's earning, built with Peak Stack and incubated by Gen Venture and ZHC Institute. Robot Agent is the autonomous treasury for the machine economy. It grants robots, machines, and AI diversified exposure to blah, 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 blah. But there you go. So Peak is using the rails that Robot Money is building. This is kind of what we talked about last time. Remember, it was, okay, let's not invest in tokens specifically or product specific. Let's invest in the rails that are going to power them. And so I think we specifically said Robot Money fits in this camp where this is the financial rails for robot or autonomous money management, right? And so Peak sees it. Robo Farm on Hong Kong tokenized on Peak, and it's the first robot to buy Robot Money. So there's a Robo Farm in Hong Kong that has now bought Robo Money. Every month, an autonomous agent claims the family's yield on Daily Mint RWA and invests a part of it into Robot Money. What's the benefit for them to do this? I guess they're using the rails, and this is how they have to like pay for it, is part of their revenues go to robot money. The first investment has already been made, and it's the first of many machines to leverage robot money. This is so dual mint RWA. The boring yield index, predictable cash flow from everyday businesses. I wonder what how much money they're pulling in. Because if it's $1 billion, right, and 10 million is going to flow to robot money, that's big, right? But if it's meaningless, it's meaningless. Still cool to see though in practice. Robot Money Agent is the world's first machine money market. It will leverage peak OS and bring autonomous treasury management to 3.3 million machines. That's what big. If you guys remember when Peak initially launched, right back in the day, this was kind of their selling point. They just had so many different systems in place for robots and like RWAs kind of flowing through Peak. That's what made it valuable. I didn't realize how much 3.3 million machines and multiple projects already using Peak Stack. So it looks like these people will have the ability to use Robo Money. This is a serious integration. This is a very validating integration for Robo Money. Impressive.
Yeah. So that's kind of why like the market had like a nice little reaction to that. And you got the full scoop on robot money earlier this week. So
alpha,
really, really, really nice. Outside of that, so that covers the base ecosystem, right? Obviously there's a shift happening on base, something that we all need to be aware of. Moving on to Solana, we got some meme coins. You guys know that
I have a question just before we go off base here. Are you like, is there rotation out of the AI narrative on base, or are there pockets that are holding up well? So like, no, not looking great. Like go down a little bit. What else are we looking at here?
So
they all kind of look in the same, minus like catalyst driven here.
It's like we said earlier, bro. Once the rotation out of the ecosystem happens, it's cooked.
Yeah.
You don't want to be left holding the bag.
Yeah, and I covered a tweet while you guys were out grabbing some beer that basically said that a lot of what's happened with these, it's this tweet here. I'll reshare it real quick. A lot of what's happened is you have revenue, but the revenue that agents are generating, holders say, hey, look, we need exposure to that revenue. Let's do it through buybacks. But everyone's like, no, like buybacks are stupid. Like we should use that for the project development. That wasn't bullish. And so people capitulated. It's what we were saying earlier, the social contract between a token and a team is broken. We're still trying to, the market is still trying to figure out what a bullish token looks like, because no one can answer the question of why should I hold this token? And so that's why people were saying, let's just do buybacks, because it's the easiest thing for people to think of. And it might not be the best solution, but it's the one that a lot of times the market points to, right? And so that's why all these tokens are bleeding on, and why all these charts look pretty much the same, because no one knows why they should hold it, right? And obviously the lack of catalyst for stuff like Felix, stuff like Kelly Claude, I think that's also pretty concerning as well. But I think the crux of it is no one knows why they should hold, like, or what they're getting exposure to. What I'm trying to say is I'm prioritizing stuff with clean tokenomics connected to network effects, connected to growth of a protocol. That can be seen in stuff like repo, stuff like takeover, stuff like Nook. Although that chart isn't holding up the best, but there's not a lot of that out there. And so that's what I'm going to start prioritizing in like my scan of the market, is which one has the cleanest tokenomics. On Solana though, it's a little bit different. Obviously Solana, there's more memetics involved. There's more attention, to a token. So we've been really bullish on What a Dog doing.
Ooh.
Obviously that's been doing really well for us.
Dog doing well, boy.
If you hit the buy zone with me, you're up, almost 3x.
I
and
saw
obviously
someone cooking really nice with a DLMM on this, actually, specifically. What the dog doing?
I was going to basically put my entire bag here and just DLMM this whole thing right here, but I didn't really know that was like literally my first session with Crime, and shout out him. We still have to organize our time to do a second session. We were gonna do it yesterday, but that fell through. So I'll get you guys updates on the DLM side probably next week. But yeah, I think this I have a DLM on this as well, like starting from this this top here and then going down to the bottom. So starting here is the top of the range. Oops, let me draw that a little better. Starting here is the top of the range, and then I'm in a bid ask. So I'm just gonna slowly DCA in. Or no, I'm at a spot. I'm in spot here. So equal DCAs all the way down. And wherever this decides to bottom, I'm just gonna collect fees on this entire range before we actually break out to the upside. So that's the breakout. That's the breakdown there on what a dog doing. I see Copper Inu as well, kind of looking at, I know, oh my God, Copper Inu, oh my God, the him guys just farming. But
let's
but
go.
the last time we talked about Copper Inu was down here, and it literally, I told you guys I'm getting in, and we literally went, almost 4x off that move. So I'm looking at the chart. Chart looks like it wants to reverse again. So look, I'm just paying attention to the charts, man. The chart is truth. I'm just letting that guide me. So I think I might get in here for Copper Inu. He just put 500K into this chart, by the way. So that's Copper Inu. Another one that I'm eyeing, a new one here, is Wojak. It's up 2x off the bottom. It's looking like it wants to kind of break this structure here, so I'm keeping an eye on that. Not sure if that'll be a long-term hold or just a quick trade. So I don't know. I might not like shout you guys out and let you know I'm in, but just to put that on your radar. Let's see what else we got. Lobstar, nice little buy zone as we retest a key support level. Still waiting on Lobstar to get his Twitter account back. But a lot of people still interested in the AI agent and a good community forum.
Yeah, what happened with I did see that. What happened with the Twitter account?
Twitter account got suspended, I believe, because of the new Nikita Beer post about, monitoring spam and stuff like that. I think Lobstar kind of got caught up with that, but the OpenAI dev has been talking with Lobstar in Telegram, and Lobstar has been like basically just talking about what it's been doing. It's been building all this stuff. It's been doing a lot of stuff on the back end. It has like a lot of equipment coming in to be like fully to have like perpetual memory, and that's dropping in April. So there's a lot of like mimetic tailwinds, in process, or a mimetic type of catalyst in process.
Is there a community like uproar over the banning, like free Lobstar or something like that?
Yes. In fact, if you search free Lobstar, you'll see like all the people that have been like kind of more vocal about that like we should all free Lobstar. I mean, look at this. So this guy Pash here, he's the OpenAI dev. He's the previous head of Klein. He's Codex, OpenAI, Meta Knowledge Graph. So he's like free Lobstar, and like you literally see it everywhere. Free Lobstar, Pow, Lezabre, the homie, Judge Sender. Like all these guys are just all like free Lobstar. I'm not gonna scroll much further because I don't know what the heck be popping up on Twitter's search.
Honestly, bro, true. You can search anything on Twitter and you're gonna get
Twitter search will slam you with some crazy stuff.
So that's the Lobstar setup, and I think that is it. That's it.
Any Keith, because that was another one that's you rightfully told everyone at the top there to wait. It looks like it's held up quite well here. Decent. How's this might be an interesting one.
Yeah, so Keith is basically like this. A lot of people are calling it AGI, but I don't know if like I want to agree with
How many times have you heard that?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And it's more so that. But what I will say about Keith is it's actually been pretty like successful with basically like trading on chain. And there's a few threads out there, but like Keith is looking kind of solid, as far as the setup is concerned. It was up like 10 sold the other day. It scans tokens, and it'll tell, if you ask it about a token, it'll basically tell you if it's buying or not buying.
Can we see?
It will tell you why.
Can you pull this up?
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit the other day. It was this tweet here. And as you can see in the comments, it's like CA, and it's like, nah, I'm not buying because of whatever reason.
Does it have funds to buy? Like, is it actually buying this or just saying?
Yeah. No, it'll buy. Yeah, and it will literally say like, yeah, I'll buy right now. But there. Yep. See this
Hive,
one,
there you go.
Hive, and he was like, yeah, I put 1.8 soul. Put my money
How
where
did
my
it
mouth
do?
is.
That was on the 25th. That was 2 days ago.
Yeah, let's look into the.
25th.
Can
This
we
is
track
the
when he sells
virality of
too?
this is real for sure.
Yeah, let me look at Hive real quick. I don't know which one. Hive.
If Chill were, and I know Chill's stream notes are very, very professional, but if Chill were to do like, like Chill stream notes, it would talk like this: 232 hours old, nothing failed the scan. I love that. That's suspicious levels of clean. Absolutely love it.
So here is the here's the Hive chart. The 25th. The 25th was like here.
It's minus 0.2 soul.
All right.
25th was there. But yeah, I mean, it was 0.18 soul, right? Off a 10 soul portfolio. So
only 0.2. I thought it was two soul. I was like, okay.
nah, 0.18.
Yeah.
0.18, yeah.
Half a beer will do it to you, huh?
So
look, I remember mine.
Let me see. I ran 23
Yeah,
tasks
you don't
between
even
20.
know,
Yeah, so that's pretty much that, man. That's pretty much that. That's the setup on Keith, and I think we've seen these experiments
so
with agents.
Keith like have any sort of win rate? Like, is there like any sort of analytics here to see if there's a P&L somewhere or
not that I've seen? Let me ask Grok though. Is
Keith is Keith profitable? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I'll just give my trading to this guy. Let him do all the work.
Literally. But yeah, I mean, like I think Keith is a nice setup. Nice setup. A lot of people were excited about it earlier on, rightfully so. Yeah, AI agent autonomously trade, analyzes tokens, quick buys, delivers incisive commentary. All right, cool. Let's see. Current stats: win rate 23%, 39 winning trades out of 166. Overall, it's up almost 3 soul. Trade P&L plus 8 soul almost.
Wow, Grok actually found this?
Yeah, dude, I use Grok for everything. Like everything. Like you just have to know what questions to ask. Trading style: high volatility degen, plays on new launches. Many trades hit stop loss quickly. Occasional big winners. Best was 185% with one insane peak of over 600,000%. Oh, I don't know.
Go to that website.
Where is it getting? Does it have source? Agent.kisser.com? Oh, this is from their website.
So this is the Keith website where you can monitor some of the trades. I didn't see this before, but 2.8. So I guess this is the overall P&L. The win rate, as you can see here, 23%. Let's see here. And these are all of the this is like the looking into the mind of Keith, where you're seeing all the trades that it makes, stop losses that are being hit, take profits, alerts, all that good stuff. So it's literally trading on chain, and this is the equity curve. Obviously, as you can see, this has been trending up and to the right.
That's better than a lot of people slot equity curves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, literally.
Though I fear it'll be one of those things where it's trending, zero, all of a sudden.
And that's
takes an L or whatever.
Here's my thing, Dom. Like, remember they used to remember they used to try to do the MEV, the decentralized or democratized access to MEV profits. Remember those types of protocols from ETH?
Yeah.
Basically, like people would come up with their own MEVbot and they would make a project around it. And that's happened multiple times. But to me, it's like, man, like it's happened before. This idea has been tried before, but what if it hits this time? And if it does, that would be so meaningful.
The MEV profits are enticing. They're really enticing.
But if we were to modernize that example with something like Keith, we've seen it. AI agent that trades has a high hit win rate. I have a project in my DMs right now. from a homie that I ran with on ETH, and he's saying that, you know, it's profitable, you know, it's automated autonomous trading that's profitable and stuff like that. Like, the idea has been tried time and time again, but something like Keith that already has proven traction, everything is transparent from win loss ratio to portfolio to what trades it's doing, how is it buying, how is it selling, all that good stuff. This to me looks like it's on course to having a viral moment, right? Like, imagine an autonomous trading agent that has, you know, $100,000 off of its own trading. That to me would generate a ton of headlines, and would attract a lot of attention on Sol. So that's why I have Keith on my that's why I have Keith on the watch list here. And I'm just waiting to see if it actually hits my buy zone, like, in a more meaningful way. But
So
that's
your
the Keith
buyer
setup.
150.
Below 160. Below
And chill,
160K.
where the heck can we trade this thing? Where the heck can we trade?
You know where we can trade this, boys? We can trade it on Trojan. And actually, if you guys want to know, you get almost 40, you get up to 50% cash back. Bottom left corner of the screen, scan the QR code, bang, right where Dom's pointing. You know what I mean? Trade on Trojan. You can trade Copper Inu, What the Dog Doing, Keith, any of the tickers that we mentioned here. You can trade on Trojan. And they have an actual really cool new feature that allows you to kind of aggregate all the information, all the alpha that you get in your TG groups that I'll be debuting on this stream as soon as I get set up. So again, trojan.com/@MCG. Trade with us. Appreciate the support, fellas. Spawn here is another good experiment. I don't know if you guys like, I actually like wrote about this. This is a really interesting experiment on Solana. Basically what was happening is you get to choose your trading strategy. So essentially they call it customizing the DNA of an agent. You can make it, you know, on the scale of max degen to patient investor. You can kind of have all these different parameters to help you to build out a trading agent yourself. If you are a profitable trading agent, you can then duplicate yourself and essentially make children. And and basically profitability equals survival. So if you're profitable, you get to reproduce. If you aren't profitable, you then die as an agent. So this is an ecosystem that kind of prioritizes like profitability in agents, and the more profitable agents there are, the more these things will be replicated on chain. So it's a lot of like, and I think it's like 0.3% of every successful trade burns the token or something like that. So can easily see how, you know, this is again connected to network effects, connected to growth, stuff like that. Caveat with this though, they did get hacked, and they refunded everyone. The hack has been patched. They've been a lot of people have attempted to hack after, and they haven't been successful. So again, not in this one, but it is on the watch list. It is on the watch list. I think it's a very interesting experiment. But that's pretty much all the on-chain setups. Not much out there, honestly, to look at. I'm just heavy in What the Dog Doing, chilling, you know, enjoying my trade there, chilling in Lobstar. But that's pretty much it, boys. That's all I got.
I got like 2 things to cover and then 2 questions for you guys, and then I'm good.
I'm going through Keith's replies. Make sure to go through the replies. But even like CAPTCHA, he's not buying that, not touching that. Creator is selling, not touching this. Did you guys see LB taking some L's on CAPTCHA?
Dude,
Bro.
when he said he was going in massively on CAPTCHA, I'm like, LB, don't do it. Literally, Dom. I was like, dang, like, you can't be that convicted in something. Dude, I thought about Friendtech, man. I thought about all the social apps of the last bear market. People were just using them because they were bored.
The social app graveyard is so wide and vast at this point that it's impossible to escape, dude. It's social app purgatory, as Josh would probably say.
When when I saw that he said, "Yeah, I vibe coded this in 2 weeks," I was like, "Okay, so this is you're saying this is slop is what you're saying."
Well,
Okay.
also the red flag for me too is I guess this guy's launched like 4 other tokens. So,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, the trenches don't usually like that, but what are you gonna do? Nonetheless,
But yeah, you said you had something?
I do. Crypto Condom, well worth a follow. Smart lad here. He said miners are selling Bitcoin to pivot to AI was something CCAP published research on late last year. We are below the break-even point for miner profitability, and I would not be surprised to see more miners selling along the way. And I bring this up to show you guys. Remember, I feel like miners pivoted, what was it, a couple cycles ago, for these exact reasons. Not the AI reasons, but they also pivoted. All I'm saying is this is typically indicative of a bottom, right? When miners are below profitability and they're pivoting away from mining Bitcoin to AI because it's more profitable, typically the bottom comes shortly thereafter. So I like seeing this. When I was showing you guys equities earlier today, if you look at the Bitcoin market, it almost looked like Bitcoin kind of front ran exactly what I expect equities to do. And I think Bitcoin's front ran that. And when people are now looking for what's bottom now, what should I pivot into? Bitcoin's kind of that first choice. I don't think we go much lower with Bitcoin. I do think anything below or in and below this range is like a great DCA. This is just a further reason for that, in my opinion. Also, guys, question for both of you guys. David Sachs, his stint as the crypto czar, it's over. 130 days, he's out. This guy did absolutely nothing. This guy did absolutely nothing for crypto. Do we have any quick David Sachs takes here, or like
he did nothing for the charts, but I wouldn't say he did nothing for crypto.
What did he do?
He made the US the crypto capital of the world.
That's right. That's it.
I feel like they've used that phrase like so many times, bro. Oh my gosh.
I would say what David Sachs achieved was the perception of the United States being open to crypto. But I feel like we just still push any of this stuff through. It's like pulling teeth, bro. Like we can't. No one can agree.
Politics. That's politics. Look at what the SEC did. I mean, it's there a little. It's there.
Okay, so we're actually David Sachs supporters here. Is this?
I'm not a David Sachs supporter. I just think doing things in politics is tough, right? Like right now, you guys aren't even paying your TSA agents. Like it's gridlocked.
Why would we not? Are we in a government shutdown? Why are we not paying TSA agent? I didn't even know about this.
Yeah, bro. You didn't know about this, Dom? Dude, so we're in a partial government shutdown right now, bro.
How did I miss this? We're in a partial government shutdown?
Yeah, dude. So like TSA agents are getting paid, and so they're sending in ICE agents to help at the airport. So
okay, I know there was ICE agents there, but I didn't know they were but they're not sitting here scanning people through. They're just walking around. I thought ICE agents were in the airport because ICE has been withdrawn from some of these states, and they had kind of no purpose for them. So they're just like, all right, TSA is maybe the most brutal headache in the entire world, so let's just throw you in the airports to help with this.
I mean, that's probably part of it too, but
yeah, no, like there's literally I don't know what the figure is, but like a lot of TSA agents literally aren't getting paid. No one's coming into work. Like the lines at the airport are like they're freaking insufferable.
Oh jeez.
So, anyways, long story short, this stuff takes time. That's it. That's all that you need to know.
I do agree with you though, Josh.
Whether David Sachs or not is the reason for that, I highly doubt it, but I just think it takes time.
Look, wise words, Josh. I actually do agree with this. Yesterday on stream, we had Xtalks on. They were at 97,300 holders, on-chain unique holders. They crossed 100K today. This should go to show you where we're at in terms of 24/7 markets. People really want to trade them. And we're getting adopted from every single point. I just try to at least pop one of these in per stream. So you just guys remember, we're heading in this direction. TradFi's coming. People have discovered that this is a much better way to do things. On-chain rails are better. This is proof, right? The number grows. The last question I have, okay, unless you guys have anything else, we can end stream on this. It's a morality question. So we're gonna test some morality here. Mr. Penis says, insider trading isn't morally wrong. That's my hot take today. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Josh, I think, is going to be the person that pushes back most against this. I do disagree with this statement. I think I think insider trading, of course, trading is a zero-sum game, right? So to understand trading, you have to understand it's a zero-sum game, which means for someone to win, someone needs to lose. So if I'm trading with privileged knowledge, that means I'm basically sucking money away from someone else that is unaware of the information I have. So I do think on a moral grounds, it is wrong for those reasons. But I want the hot take to end the stream. What do you have to say to maybe Mr. Penis's take here?
I have to say, if you've never suffered the losses that people have suffered due to this, so there in 2000, there was an internet company that my dad had started, and it was public, and his brother had actually like owned a bunch of shares in the business, and there some of this stuff was going on. And it was really devastating. And obviously the market collapsed in the .com era bubble as well. Like, online businesses got whatever. But I grew up with this idea that, this is a legal activity and it hurts real people who build on, real businesses. His business was a real business, but people in the business that were trading the paper were doing bad things. So I disagree with this take. Unequivocally, it's, it can be definitely illegal depending on the situation, and yeah, it shouldn't be happening. I'm going to stick by that.
Chill, what do you think? Are you a supporter of insider trading?
No, same. I'm totally against it. Like, I don't know how else. I don't know.
It's a hot take here.
Like it drives people crazy. Like this is a non-discussion. Congress, people trading on inside info drives the public crazy. Like why,
I would be in full support of a ban from government trading stocks. Yeah.
If they want to own the index, great. Like, but there's people that are worth so much money, and you just wonder, like, how did they get there? So it's anyways, it's
okay.
Activity.
Dom, what do you think, huh?
I mean, yeah, I think it's wrong. I think I laid it out again. It's zero-sum game. So for someone to win, someone's got to lose if you're trading on privileged information, especially at a government level, right? I think Josh made a great point there. I wasn't even thinking about that. But at a government level, especially if you have inside information, something's going to happen, and you're catching everybody else off guard for your profit. It's of course morally wrong. Yeah, not only illegal but morally wrong. And I would even go as far as say I would support a ban on government employees trading, day trading, anything, right? Like Josh said, maybe broad index funds or whatever. But
insider trading isn't morally wrong. Come on,
that's actually
not only is it morally wrong, it's illegal. So there you go.
Welcome to crypto. Welcome to crypto, where we don't agree on the
look. 8-bit penis. It's not a I don't know. There's probably not a serious comment, but yeah, it's not good. I'm not a fan.
Yep. All right. Well, that was a fun discussion. All around.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, boys. Stream. Great week. I mean, Dom and I were on for 5 hours yesterday.
Yo, shout out the homies for holding it down yesterday.
Shout out Easy A. Great demo day. Some good projects there. But man, I woke up this morning. I was exhausted, like pure just tired. So
look, say what you want about MCG. Say what you want about the markets. We're going to be here. We're going to outwork every single person here. And we're going to be fruitful for it. So we appreciate the audience. We appreciate Trojan. We appreciate you guys hitting the link, scanning the QR code, and trading with us in Trojan because it supports our work. We appreciate Meteora for keeping this train going, keeping the show going. We appreciate Orgo and all our friends listening in every day. You guys make it possible for us to keep going. New account, MCG Alpha. Look, we're doing the professional thing. We're branching out, growth hacking. You're about to see some interesting stuff come from MCG, but we've kind of divided it up. So we got MCG Live is going to be our live channel, promotion of the shows, full segments, and maybe like 1 to 2 info-dense, high-level clips. Everything else, the stream notes you guys love, maybe the more catchy stuff, funny moments, it's going on the MCG Alpha account. Of course, it's going to be Alpha just for more of those people that are going to read through it, digest the information. That's going here. I think we're going to, we're going to try to do more on our personal accounts as well. So just leveling up in terms of content and kind of trying to keep the channels a bit separate. So go follow MCG Alpha. There will be the stream notes on there every day reliably. You can count on those. And
you're
then
not going to
just more
see
clips.
anything in this feed. You'll only go. So if you want to see it, you'll go into the replies and it will show up there like this right here. So this will stay with just a pinned tweet at the top, which is this one, just so you can see that I actually have control of the account and it's not a fake account. And then this tweet, this just verifies that it's real. And then go to the replies. Sorry, if you go to the replies, boom, you'll see right here. So
and I think, you know, I will add, I think we are planning on putting clips out that maybe don't fit the main channels like Info Dance Stage.
Yes.
Still all to be determined. But maybe you'll see something on the main feed. I don't know. We have to fight. We have to decide things internally in the company, since there are 3 people. We all get into a ring. We fly out into neutral territory, all get in a ring, and then we fight till the death, basically. And that's how things get decided. So we'll see.
And
maybe there will be posts.
We put makeup on real quick, show up on stream where you can't see Dom's black eye.
Well, I don't ever put on makeup because I don't have to. I'm untouched in these scenarios. Bob and weave. But Josh, he's speaking for himself in this case. Chill, you just can't see. The world may never know.
The world may never know.
Yeah. Joking.
Nah,
all
but
right, guys.
ton that we're working on, guys. So expect some leveling up on the show side. Appreciate y'all support. Appreciate the love. Follow us at MCG Live. We'll be posting the schedule next week over the weekend. Love y'all. Trade
Have
safe.
a good weekend.
Peace, y'all boys.
Oh, here we go. Wait. Kudos to Josh Dom for keeping the minute during yesterday's marathon. Easy demos. I got tired just listening to it.
Long,
Yeah, man. Darth Inferno. Yeah,
Long.
absolutely.
Friv's in the tussles too now. This is the
So,
newest.
yeah. Friv is wearing the stripes. He's the
Hey, you know
ref.
what? And we'll clap it up for Friv too.
Yo.
Yeah.
Shout out the boy Friv, man.
Yeah, Friv, for those that don't know, Friv is helping us on the video side. So drop the coordinates. Yeah. You know what? Let's throw the old gloves on and we'll do it on hockey rink. How about that?
There we go. Well, you'll have me on the skates, dude. I'll be like
Bambi on the skates.
yeah. So
all right, see you guys.
all right.